Gather round, we got no gods to please. Saturday night, no sermons, just ease. Discussions flow like midnight breeze. No prophets here, just minds to tease. We talk big bangs and evolution. Question faith with our solution. Stars align in our confusion. Breaking free from old illusion. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Fun and laugh at myth believers. Here we're all truth seekers. Open hearts and swift deceivers. Make your stand, no hidden levers. Raise your glass to reason, thrill, no ancient text, it's our own will. Debate till dawn, feel velvet chill. Saturday night, we've got the skill. Echoes of a godless choir, like the world was fought the fire. Free our mindset to inspire. No holy walls to take us higher. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Join the fun, no need for trust. Dust to dust, we're stardust. No heaven high or hell to fear. Saturday night, we hold it dear. Fun and laugh at myth believers. Here we're all truth seekers.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Night at the Atheists. And I'm joined by Mike and Scott. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Happy Saturday. Happy Snaturday.
Yeah, happy Snaturday to everybody.
Nice run of AI toast there, Scott. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
got
good.
the emojis going.
I love
We got-
toast.
I had some toast the other day. It was actually good. There's Simos. I was just gonna say we're looking around and asking where Simos and Robin is. I said I did send them a link, and there's Simos. How you doing, Simos?
As if by magic.
I know
Yes, indeed.
you heard us all the way over there.
Yeah, well, I was watching a film actually, and then I just looked at the time and went, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
Simos, proof
Yes.
that Dave will let anybody in here.
almost.
Absolutely.
I had some toast the other day. It was halfway enjoyable. Some things I got a taste for, and so we'll see if that's coming back. It's coming back real slow for me. But when I got weighed yesterday at the doctor, I was up on weight, so I have been picking up
Oh.
calories and everything, so I'm good there.
Excellent.
Just got to diversify a little bit.
Good news indeed.
Yeah, the only thing is, I was telling Scott my sugar was up. I checked my number before I got on, and I was over 300, and it's like that's the first time I've gone over 300. But I did eat, so hopefully it's just that.
Yes.
I'm getting tested next week, my kidney and everything. I'm getting a CT. I had an MRI last week. And for the first of the month, I should have all my doctors caught up with all test results and everything, and they should know what's going on. And right now, I'm not doing anything. They took me off everything, the Keytruda and everything. I'm all off. I only took chemos through January, and they took me off of those. So right now, I'm only taking stuff to manage my sugar, and I want to get my sugar in check because I don't want my kidneys messed up on top of everything else. So
Yep.
we're gonna straighten that out. They gave me some insulin to play with and keep my numbers in check. So they did. They are still booking me out a month in advance, so they expect me to come back, which is always good. I like hearing that. We'll see you next month, and it's like, yeah, okay. And the kidney doctor, she's real nice. And well, everybody's been really cool. So no complaints other than there's so many side effects with everything. I noticed to get in the shower. I told the old lady my feet look a little fat, and she's like, "That's probably the steroids." So I'm popping a pill for that because my feet look. Usually you can see the tendons in the top of across the top of the foot, and I couldn't see any tendons, so I said, "Uh-oh."
Yeah. They go up. Goes up and down. Goes up and down. When you put your feet up, it'll go away for a little bit,
Yeah. Well, I've always got my compression boots too. They help a lot when I had a problem before. I put those on for a little bit, put my feet up.
Nice.
But I'm feeling okay. If I start acting funny, just know that it's my sugar.
Okay.
But no, I feel okay. I did put my glasses on. My eyes were a little blurry, so the sugar is messing with my eyes a little bit. So I better put my glasses on. But other than that, it seems the harder I try, the worse off I am. I had some water. Took a walk yesterday. The weather was nice, and slept. I slept good. I didn't have a nap. I slept good, and then my numbers up. It always seems like there's always something dragging you back. You try, and it doesn't seem to do you any good. But we'll see. But how are you doing, Simos? How you feeling?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling okay. I've had good test results this week, so can't complain about that. And my blood results were good. Tachylemus was on point. They did a diabetes test, and I'm within range. So it's all good. My bones still hurt, but my joints still hurt, but they're getting better day by day.
That's all.
That looks like it's just going to be, just one of those things. Once I get over the medication, I'll be fine. And I'm taking less tachylemus than normal, so everything's pretty good. Really, I'm just like you said, I've just been tired recently. Haven't been able to sleep for very long, so that's doing my head in a little. But I turned the mattress round, and that's made a bit of a difference.
Yeah,
so
it will.
So I feel like my back isn't quite hurting quite so much. And as I say, once I recover from the special intravenous stuff they gave me for my bones, then hopefully everything could be back to normal. That's what I'm hoping. And I got a bit of a lump come up. I got a lump come up on my what do they call it? I can't remember the name of the gland under your armpit. But got a lump, and I had that checked out, and they said, well, they're not really worried about it, so but they'll keep an eye on it and see what happens in the next 2 weeks.
That's one of the things. I still get a little spot on the back of my head where they cut me. And he said every time he says it's okay. It's normal to have a little bit of leakage because we cut your head open.
Yeah, there you go. You go.
Other than that, though, it hasn't bothered me and it hasn't gotten really bad or anything. It's just a little puffy. It just worries me. And
I hear that.
I had some indigestion yesterday coming home from the kidney doctor, when I came home from I got labs the other day. When I came home from labs, because when they inject me, they use the thingy up here in my chest, and it's near my heart. It always makes me a little paranoid when I get a little tweak going in my chest,
Little
you
twitch,
know.
yeah.
But I got home and I took some stuff and went right away. So I was grateful for that. But,
Excellent. I think sleep has a lot to do with it myself.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though. They give you steroids and they tell you to get some sleep, and it's like, oh, thanks a lot, you know. It's like have a cup of coffee and go to sleep, you know.
Yeah, yeah, or eat something and go. Oh, no,
Yeah.
I need to. You know, I've got to eat. I've got to eat. I'm hungry, and I'm not hungry. That's what I keep telling myself. I've only put half a kilo on since my last hospital appointment, so that's reaching the top of the curve, I think, and hopefully it'll start going down again.
Yeah, I was up a little bit. I got on the scale and it said 190 something, and I was like, oh, holy moly! But you know, you go to the one doctor, and the one doctor's telling you to drink 2 of the carnations because they have, you know, all the stuff in them. So instead of having one, why don't you have 2 of them, and you know, bring your stuff all up? Well, then that's a lot of calories, and it's hard to burn off the calories. So you go round and round, you know, from doctor to doctor, and everybody's telling you different things, and you gotta see what works for you and how you feel.
Maybe you should see a nutritionist.
I'm seeing
so-
all kind of people.
Oh well.
Yep, that's what my doctor said to me last week. He said, "Do you want to see a nutritionist? You can see one if you want. If you're worried about your weight." And I went, "I'll be all right. I'll self determination. I just got to stop eating so much, you know."
Well, yeah, they asked me if I wanted to go see a therapist or something, and it's like, is this somebody that's going to tell me to do a push-up? I mean, you know, you tell me if I can handle any stress or anything. All the different doctors said I don't have a stress problem, not even with my my thing implanted in me. It said you can just still do exercises, just don't overdo anything. But as long as you aren't doing any powerlifting or anything, you'll be all right. It's like, well, there's no sense in me going to a physical therapist or something that's just going to tell me to do a sit-up or something. I mean, it's
you got to keep yourself moving, but you know, obviously, you know, you got to make sure that you've got enough energy to do it. I think that's key.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They do forget.
Sleep when you need to sleep. That was my thing.
Yeah,
I've stopped worrying about it now. If I feel like I'm getting tired, then I just go and lay down for a bit. Then
right.
I sleep for an hour, maybe 2 hours, and then I wake up and go, oh yeah, okay. I have no idea what time it is, but I get up, find out what the time is, and then go.
Don't you hate
okay.
it when you don't know what day it is? Is it last night or is it today? Yeah.
Absolutely. But like, it doesn't matter. I'm just not going to stress about it anymore. You know what I mean? I'm just going to get up there and go, right, I've had some nice sleep. Now I can stay awake for a few hours. If I stay up late, I stay up late. If I don't, I don't. I'm not, sleep whenever I want.
Let's get Mike up there. He's at 892. We need Mike getting some more subs. I know Simos only needs a handful too, so let's get these fellows up there. If you're not subscribed, make sure you take care of that. The links are in the description. And I want to say real quick, Scott's dropping the emojis. Appreciate it, Scott. Fred, I was here, Fred. We were talking, and it went a few minutes past. I was here though, so there's only been a few times I've been late, and that's because I was restarting or something didn't work right. But most of the time I'm here before the show time. Hello, Ape. How you doing? Good to see you. And Windmill, as always, great to see you too. Thanks for stopping by, Jin. Hello, Jasper. And let's scroll through here. I think that's everybody in the chat. Hi, hello everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we're gonna we get done talking about old people stuff. Speaking about old people, how's my friends Mike and Scott feeling these days? You been to the doctors or anything?
Oh, I'm always going to some doctor of some kind, but nothing extreme or out of the ordinary.
Mike?
My doctor told me not to come back anymore. He said I'm too old for health care.
You bleeding the system, are you?
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm feeling better than I have in years. I
Good.
don't know why. I think there's something wrong with my brain.
It's all that
I feel
skepticism.
good.
Skepticism
What's
puts
that?
off what do they call them? More, I don't know. I don't know what they call them. Hormones.
Oh, okay. Cortisone.
Not hormones.
Yeah. Cortisone or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Hello.
Feel pretty good.
Hello, native. How you
That's-
doing?
You look pretty good. I don't know if it's a new
Yeah.
camera, new lighting, or you just genuinely. I mean, you
Yeah.
look well groomed. You're looking good, Mike. I've got to say that. And
Nobody.
also, say hello to Galen for me when you next see your doctor.
Oh yeah. Okay. Nobody's ever called me well groomed before, ever in my entire life. I don't know.
Okay, well there you go. You heard it here first, then.
Yeah, there's a
Wow.
first for everything.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody is doing well as they feel. That would be great. A lot of folks have gotten news they didn't want to hear this past year, and it's always good when things clear up and are taken care of. I know a lot of people give doctors a hard time. I do too, especially when I'm having side effects, but they can only do so much, and they do a lot. So we got to give them the credit, and the nurses that notice things and watch your medications and all those kind of things too. Thank you very much to all those folks out there. Hello, Demon Orb. How you doing? It's my doctor
I miss
says
my-
to come
I-
back anytime. Yeah.
I miss
Well,
my
they always
nurses.
tell you to call the doctor or go to the hospital. I mean, they're not shy about telling me to come back.
Stop.
Lately, though, I haven't had an urge, and I felt pretty good. Except for like Simos says, they give you pills to pick you up, the steroids and everything, and you're still tired. And I seem to want to doze off sitting in my chair. And I said, well, I better go lay down, So then I go to lay down, and then I can't sleep when I lay down, and that is the most frustrating thing, I think.
For sure.
And then
I
next
doze off
comes-
every time I listen to a creationist. I doze off. I don't know what they call
Yeah, that too.
There you go. I think, like I said, I'm not going to worry about it anymore, Dave, because I used to feel the same way. I used to get to bed and then go, I can't be sleeping in the afternoon because then I'll be up. Like my mum used to say,
Mm-hmm.
well, you can't do that. You know, it's like eating. I go, oh, can I come home from school? And I go, oh, can I have a Mars bar? And they go, no, you can't have a Mars bar because you won't want to eat your dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same sort of thing. I'm not going to feel guilty about eating Mars bars and going to bed at like 4 in the afternoon or something like that for a couple of hours or however long I'm asleep for.
If something
You know?
tastes halfway decent, I don't complain because so much tastes like crap these days. I really wish for my mouth to just clear up and I could just have something I want to eat because that would be great.
I understand that.
Even condemned prisoners get a last meal, and I'm eating crap. I even tried. People will say, "Well, have some like Jello or something." It's like nothing, And even the Jello was icky, so I couldn't even enjoy old people hospital type air quotes around it foods, because they don't taste good either. The food that doesn't taste good doesn't taste good.
Yeah, I mean, I started putting like sugar, salt on stuff, and then realised I was putting too much salt on to get it to taste any good, and it was just tasting like salt. And then I thought, oh, I know. So I did ask my doctor what it was that was causing that, and he said the steroids. Oh, it's the steroids that are dulling your taste. Yeah. And I was like, oh, so they make you eat, but they also make it so you hate eating.
Hello,
Salt is my
Steve.
favorite flavor. Salt.
Yeah, mine too. But
My sodium was actually down. Appreciate it. Because before my sodium was up, so my sodium is down. She was looking on the computer there at my numbers from the last labs, and she said, even the kidney number, the Keytruda number or something like that.
Right.
Even that was looking good. It
fantastic.
wasn't great, but it was going in the right direction.
That's all that we can ask for. That's all we can ask for.
So, there's always good news and bad news. It seems, I'll get a lot of good news, and then I'll get but they'll find something. They'll say, "Hey, this looks good. This looks good. Hey, keep it up. Your numbers are doing good." But we want to get this one thing checked, It's like, dang it! I thought I was gonna skate right through and skippity doo dah, And here they always got to find something. And Tilting Windmill, been a member for 12 months. Do appreciate you, Tilting Windmill. And you know what I appreciated the other day was having some toast.
We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast. We love toast.
And I hope you have some toast there, Tilting Windmill. It's been nice to slowly pick up the taste for a few things, even though they're not great. Better than before, but then some things I tried some sides the other day from my wife's dinner, and I just couldn't do it. I choked down a few just to say I ate them, but they were awful. Now the other time she had sides, I had some and it was good. So, it's kind of one of those things right now where I'm still bouncing around, but I have been picking up a little bit, and it's so appreciative.
That's positive, Dave. Right? And, if things are headed roughly in the right direction, then all you got to do is keep doing the same thing.
They just keep telling me basically, for some folks it takes a while,
That's it.
And that's basically where I'm at, I guess. I very, very slowly picking things. But like you said, Simos, you try to put stuff on and force your taste buds, sugar and salt and stuff. And it seems, for me at least, when something has a little bit of sweetness to it, it helps. So.
Yeah, likewise. But like I said, I've stopped trying to do that now. I'll wait for it to get better by itself. I know it will, and it's already happening, slowly but surely. It's been 5 months now since the op, and I'm slowly starting. Every now and again, I take a bite and go, "Ooh, that tastes nice."
That's
every now, just one bite out of the meal, would be like, "Oh, I like that." Yeah.
I lost everything within about a week. And it's been months now that things have tasted so bland and awful, and I just so miss eating things. Even things I can tolerate, like milk and stuff, it isn't the same,
Yeah.
Things just aren't the same, and that'll be very nice. Yeah, but I do appreciate you being around, Tilting. You're greatly appreciated, and all the modding you do, and then pull up. People's info for them and stuff. It's really great of you. Thank you very much. Hello, Pixie. Good to see you.
Have we had our first pre-supper yet tonight, or?
I don't know, but I did. So. I did save the video from last week for you, Mike. Mike wanted to look at some of the parts because we were kind of skipping around last week.
Yeah. Oh shit! Now this is on me. Eh?
Yeah, so we're gonna blame Mike. Well, there was a lot in this, and some of the videos I do wish I would do part twos because I don't get to a lot of them. But some of them are so repetitive, it's pointless to play it because they're just saying the same old thing. So it's kind of a fine line there. But
well, this guy's claim to fame, Leonard Strand, is these footprints that they found in the. Oh God, I always forget, coconino or whatever, sandstone, and he insists that they were made underwater, and he's written a couple papers on it. He's had his ass handed to him by every geologist that's looked at it. So anyway,
I think what he actually meant is he wrote his paper underwater.
yeah
Something like that. Anyway, there was a specific reference that you made last week, Mike, turning to the video now, and I think you said it was about the 7-minute mark in the actual video, but how that relates to what Dave's chopped up, I don't know exactly.
I've got it
Yeah.
about where I skipped. I said it. They were talking about the birds for most of the video that we watched in the beginning, and I caught it right when he stops talking about the birds. I believe is the next few minutes Mike wanted to look at. Then I skipped ahead, and then there's the end of the video, and we didn't look at any of that. So we have plenty of the video to look at.
Excellent.
Plenty of things for Mike to commentate about. Right, Mike?
Commentate, yes.
Commentated?
Yeah, I'm commentator. I think, isn't that a part in an electric motor, the commentator? I don't know.
Could be way on
I thought it
the
was. I
outside there.
thought you were going to do some comptometry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, us cockroaches then will start playing the video. And I think, like I say, I think I got it about where we skipped last time. So everybody that was here last week, this guy is a degreed biologist. He teaches at a Christian school, however. So we know he's got a bias going there, and he denies pretty much everything that other creationists deny. He's anti-evolution and everything. Of course, they aren't really anti-evolution, but they say they are.
Yeah.
And he's a Seventh-day Adventist too, isn't he? So
That's right.
it's pretty hardcore YEC type stuff.
And we should also just add in that he got his degree in 1972 or 3, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah, he is set in his ways, so to speak.
There you go. Before most of you in that chat were born.
Yeah. And but that's the thing. These people can have their beliefs. You're entitled to your beliefs. You can believe anything you want. I mean, there's no law against it as long as you aren't hurting anybody. Believe whatever you want. Yep. But this person does stand in front of people, and even if they are Christian students, they are a lot of young people that he's influencing with his nonsense and his pseudoscience, whatever he wants to call his Andrew Snelling type excavations at Grand Canyon, where it's so funny that the creationists can just discover things that scientists have totally missed for decades, and yet they bumble into a place and they go, "Oh, right, here's the answer under this rock," and it's like, sure. Now, I'm not saying it's not impossible, but it's very, very doubtful that they just bumble in and make all these grand discoveries all the time. I think they're kind of full of themselves. And we're just here to point that out again. On this channel, we try not to make anything personal. We do know that people hold to different beliefs, and they change their beliefs. And we all have heard about people and know people that have changed their beliefs. So we try not to make it personal, but please do not teach this stuff to the young people, because you're going to have a lot of pushback. And Fred says Andrew Snelling is an intentional ignoramus. Yeah, when he worked for the gas and oil companies, he sure liked evolution. Now that he's getting paid by Ken Ham, he doesn't like evolution. So it's very telling, I think, who's writing his check, which way he goes, and somebody like that doesn't have any footing at all, one way or another. They'll just, well, whoever wrote me a check, I'm going to say. So he's another one where he just bumbled into the Grand Canyon and, oh, here's the answer right here. All these scientists have been looking, and geologists and everything, and they don't have a clue. They don't know what they're talking about, but I do, because I'm working for Ken Ham. And who was it? Deconverted Man was just reviewing a Ken Ham thing where he was saying that atheism is a religion, and people have been arguing back and forth ever since they gave tax exempt to non-religious groups and stuff, and that it is a church, it is a religion. Who cares? Okay, one believes in God, and one doesn't. I mean, it's too much that he drags it on and on and on and on and on, and he makes it out that religion isn't all that special because everything's a religion. Everyone believes in something. Everyone has faith in something. Well, then you're not setting yourself apart. And it used to be that if you were religious about something, it set you apart. It was like being very devoted, or however you want to put it. And you can be religious about a lot of things without being religious about them. And he likes to twist the words, make everything sound really dumb, give everybody a headache. And I told Deacon Vert, I feel for you. The way he was grabbing his hair and his head, and I can't take it anymore. And so he's that annoying. He says that really annoying things, and it makes you want to pull your hair out. Hello, Vesta, how you doing? Anders Snelling is a dishonest hack. Really don't. The way he presents things too, it just seems dishonest. But and I can imagine these two hanging out together. So without further ado, with part two from last week, we're going to take a look. I think his name was Leonard or Ronald or something like that. And Leonard Brand, and he does have a PhD, so I do give credit for that. But how he's using it, we're going to question. And here's the parts right about where we skipped last week. So we'll pull it up here, and I think I'm pretty close.
Or catastrophic geology can give them an advantage in research?
Most scientists and philosophers will tell you, well, that's a joke. Creationists cannot be a good scientist.
And there we go. He said it all for us.
Peter Atkins right off the bat, didn't he?
Yeah.
No good scientist believes in God or something, he said. In other words, you don't go into the lab and do magic.
Yeah, they were talking about this idea of uniformitarianism and catastrophic geology, which is pretty much a bullshit classification. What they're talking about is a worldwide catastrophe, which would be like if the crust melted or if there were a global flood. But there are all sorts of mini localized catastrophes everywhere. And right now, today, there are avalanches in the news about every 3 weeks, right? And it's just ridiculous that they're kind of making this distinction. And creationists have nothing to say about geology because they don't base it on any scientific evidence. They base it on a myth in Genesis, and that's not where you start. You look for evidence, and then you infer dates. So.
Also, there's kind of an irony here, isn't there, really? Because they're saying there's a worldwide catastrophe, and yet they deny that the dinosaurs were wiped out by a worldwide catastrophe.
Yeah.
Hello, Robin. How you doing?
Yay!
Hey,
Hello, Robin.
I had a baby shower. I just got back from my baby shower.
That's all right.
Typical
right.
atheist.
Not my baby. Not
typical
my baby
atheist.
shower, but a baby
Typical, typical atheists having a shower of babies.
Yeah.
Yes. My niece.
I didn't know there were any
They had
babies
babies.
anymore.
I didn't think atheists had babies.
Yeah, babies are still a thing.
Yep. Well, my niece is having one. She's not an atheist.
Wow.
She probably won't let her.
Can't have everything.
Probably won't let her aunt even hold it.
Just in case, yeah. Okay,
Just
fair
in
enough.
case.
You never know, because it can be quite catching, atheism. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah.
Did you have your cake?
Cake.
Robin?
Did you have some
They
cake?
had cupcakes.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
They
Did
had
they eat
cupcakes. Can y'all not hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
did they eat it?
The cupcake?
Yeah.
I did. I ate a cupcake and a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
sandwich.
So you had your cake and ate it. Okay, jolly good.
Yeah,
Good.
cake and ate it too. Yes, I did.
That's a very Christian thing to do. Well done, you.
But I forgot. I forgot about it when, like, to remind y'all. I forgot about it too. So I'm sorry. So I'm late.
Oh,
Fashionably
That's all
late.
right. That's all right. We're just starting, really. So
Yeah, we're
You know,
taking
we always-
we're taking a look at the guy from last week that's seems
I
to
will
know
just-
it all.
I will just say quickly, everybody sub to Robin's channel. Fantastic debate last night. Myself and Robert and Robin having a very fruitful discussion with
With
Calamity Jill.
Yes.
So
Always.
if you're interested,
It was something.
if you're interested in falling asleep, Mike, I would or Dave, I would suggest you go and watch that. It's,
Okay.
I did manage to watch most of it. Jill
Oh,
was
did
starting
you?
to get on my nerves, but
yeah, he always does. Yeah.
yeah,
I think he was getting on Simos is pretty good too. I think.
yeah.
No, he wasn't getting on my nerves at all. No, not at all.
And then I noticed Jimmy Tux was out there in the chat just waiting for somebody to get off so he could get in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he likes to argue with Jill too. So.
I would have got off for Jimmy, no doubt. You know, no doubt. I like Jimmy.
I was watching well when Jimmy was hanging out, and then I think I signed off, but I watched you and Robert going at it with Jill for a while there. bit of a shouting match going on there.
Well, I wouldn't say shouting as such, but definitely talking over. A lot of over talking.
Yeah.
That's Jill's thing, though. When he starts losing a debate, he just starts talking over the person. That's his tactic. So
I notice Robin has a lot of stuff going on. So
he does.
Robin's very, very busy. So check out Robin's channel and check around, because Robin is making the rounds.
Yeah, I just don't know how to make videos, so like it will always be just live streams. Like, yeah,
You just got to do it. Every time you do it, you learn something, and
just
it's just one of those. Yeah, just do it. You know,
Yeah,
set up
that's
a
exactly
recording, and learn some basic editing, and then just go from there. Just get to. I try to add something. You know, every time you make a video, add something. You know, learn to tweak something a little better. You know, and if you just add a little something to each one of your videos will get better. And before you know it, you're clicking on buttons you don't even think about anymore, and setting up your videos. So.
See, the first night I had the live stream with that new I'd never run restream. Like somebody come in, me and Simos were in there, and somebody come in, hollering slurs, and I didn't even know how to kick them out.
Oh yeah, that was a bit.
Right.
Yeah,
I was panicking, and Simos was going, kick him out, and he was hollering loud enough so he could overtalk that guy.
Well, there's been times I've had people on, and I had my my arrow, my cursor hovering right over the delete button, because you're not sure if they're gonna mouth off or whip out their willy or what they're gonna do, and you want to be quick to get rid of them.
Oh, come on, Dave. It only happened once, and I promised never to do it again.
I know.
Well, this guy, like, I went over there after he got out of there. I went to his channel, and he had like 8,000 and some subscribers, and I was the only person in chat. And I was like,
Right.
so I said, what are you doing over here? Where's all your subscribers on this lame ass channel over here? I was like, so I
You gotta wonder.
I trolled him back. He never said nothing.
I
Was
flipped
that,
on somebody was having a celebration for how many viewers and stuff, but there was only a couple people in chat, and it's like, how do you have so many followers but nobody shows up? It's really, really odd.
We have that over there on Proverbs Guys all the time, because they have like 3,000 or something like that view. And there's always this one person that comes in chat, and they're like, so when do these other people show up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, it's just usually me and Claude and Big Bad Mama. There you go.
Oh my! That was Jill last night that you were talking to her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that
I
is
know.
unfortunate. I think I
It's
think he's one of the
unfortunate.
one of the only people I had blocked.
Probably.
Well done, you. Well done, you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one and
Yeah.
the dude with the 4-wheeler. What's his name? He's another one. I know Robin had enough of him the other day, and last time I ran into him, I was full of steroids, and I was just like, "Come on!"
I
That
don't
dude,
know who you're talking about.
that dude we had enough of the other day. His avatar is a little is a leprechaun on a 4-wheeler or something like that.
Rings a bell. Rings a bell.
Yeah, he was on with Stephanie or something, and I seen you had enough. I messaged you about it, and I said, yeah, the last time I ran in with that guy, he wrong day to pick to pick with me, but I was getting kind of lippy, and but anyway,
My brain is so bad.
yeah,
I have to go back and look at our. Did we message over it?
yeah, what was his name? Brandon.
Oh, Brandon Irish.
Brandon Irish. Yeah, he's another
yes.
one.
Yes, he makes my teeth itch. Like he is one of the
Okay.
most annoying human beings alive. He came on Joe's show one time and like had a discussion over like, and he came on there and kept trying to make the claim that Mary Schwartzer had found like DNA stuff in these dinosaur bones, and Joe kept playing him a clip of Mary saying that they were misrepresenting her work, and he would not change his stuff. Joe finally cussed him out and threw him off, and like banned him and everything. Like Joe just went crazy on him. He's like, he talked to him as long as he could. He's the most frustrating human being.
The ones that misuse Mary's words against her are as a losing fight because she's got plenty of videos out where she says the opposite. So
yeah, he is a perfect mix of arrogance and ignorance, just like to just make him so annoying.
Saying, he challenged me on the wrong day. I was full of it. And, it's like bring it on. I'm loaded with steroids. Let's go. But yeah, some of those guys, you see their name and you're like, you don't even want to start because you know what's going to happen. You know.
Yeah.
I know Simos was feeling it the other day when he was trying to tell Robert, look, I know this guy. You know, I know what he's going to say.
Yeah, that's right.
I do the same thing with Austin. Austin runs into some of these people, and it's like, hey, you have to have your learning experience, but I'm just going to tell you going in,
Yeah.
what you're facing because I've already faced these people before. So
Yeah, I mean,
some people have to learn themselves.
I must have spoken to Jill like in debate form maybe 20 times, and yet he still said, "Oh, I've never seen you debate."
He always destroys everybody. That's why I like
Oh
him.
my god, yeah. Well, like I mean, his claims, some of his claims are just crazy.
Yeah, he keeps a positive energy though about it. He's positive. Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't much positive now.
Well,
But
Scott's,
anyway, yeah.
Scott's got to let the dog out. Go let the dog out, Scott, and we'll take a look at see what else he's got to say here besides birds.
By the way, guys, I'm gonna disappear at 6:45, just like vapor, because I have an appointment with some tacos. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So
yeah, sounds good.
All right,
not the channel, Mike. You mean the actual fruit product?
Actual tacos. I've been up there touching the meat all day.
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm so excited about these
We
tacos.
are used to you leaving us early.
Okay.
Yep.
You always leave us early.
Yep, and I'll just vaporize quietly. So
we're gonna play this part in here anyways, and this is what
boy.
Mike wanted to look at again. So,
love geology.
Yeah.
because we didn't, or for the first time, because we didn't get to look at it last.
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to cut out any unnecessary bits of video. So this is right at the beginning again. Mike, did you not want to start on the anatomy bit?
The geology bit, I think. What was the
Oh, okay.
anatomy?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Let's go. Let's go then.
It should be coming up. We'll see. If there's anything you want me to speed it up or anything, just let me know.
Okay.
I'll skip around. But this is the part where we pretty much left off with him and the dinosaurs last week, and we didn't come back till later in the video. So the next few minutes should be the part you were talking about. If you don't see it, then it should be the later part of the video. Okay?
Okay. Yabba dabba doo. Let's go.
And this is from this is part 2 from last week, because we didn't get to look at a lot of the parts we wanted to look at last week. So if this guy looks familiar, he was on with us last week, and we're looking at it again to finish it off a little more. So here we go.
In reality, they're missing something very important. I've been doing geology and paleontology research for 40 years, and I routinely allow the Bible to help me to understand what I'm doing.
There you go.
And how does that work?
We
First
played
of all,
that
a little
last week.
So he gets all his answers from the Bible, not a geology book or current maps or stratigraphies or whatever they call them. Good job.
He's a biologist, and he's been doing 3 years. He's been 3 years working.
3 years.
That's not nothing. Go ahead, Mike.
That's what they never talk about, is the fact that the only evidence they have for the Earth being 6,000 years old is the Bible. And everything else they have manufactured to fit that date. So they start with the Bible, which isn't science. I don't know how they can pretend it is, but they keep trying. Anyway.
In fact, they say it's not science when it comes to disproving God. Science can't disprove God.
Right.
And yet somehow, the Bible is science.
Yeah, they talk about the science all the time. Yeah. That's what I said. You've got a great religion to sell. Why do you have to attack science all the time? Well, you're obviously setting up a straw man, because you should spend your time talking about how great it's going to be in heaven and be with Jesus and all these great things, instead of some silliness on how they classify birds and dinosaurs. I mean, it's a total distraction, and it means nothing. And it's a lot of straw manning and poisoning the well and everything else you want to call it, just to what? To distract from your wonderful religion? I mean,
that's right.
Come on.
And I think I think what they're really doing here is they make it sound like it's about evolution and geology and the age of the Earth and science and all that stuff. What it's really about is creating some huge doubt wall for modern science, right? So that they can get behind all kinds of other bullshit like anti-V and anti-climate change and all that other shit. And it's all politically motivated. So they have to have this Genesis. Genesis has to be the correct history of the Earth. But that's kind of like they're pretending so that they can gain this kind of political superiority. You got to watch these crafty mothers. They're up to something.
They are. They like I've said before, and it goes for most religions. I mean, what a great thing to sell. You know, all these wonderful things that supposedly your religion brings, but yet all you can talk about is doom and gloom. But Robin is trying to change them up. Robin gifted a captive desk membership. Woohoo, Robin! Thank you very much. Goes out to Ozark Oracle. We appreciate it very much. And we'll play. I know you want to hear your song, so here it is.
You rock, let's rock with the fire in our veins. Rock on to the sky, to the thunder and rain. All hail Bigfoot, the legend, the king. He walks among shadows, the wild spirits sing.
Hopefully we're getting some of your memberships popped back up. I know you probably lost a few when you was off there for a little while.
Yeah, people have been hanging with me. I appreciate it. I've been getting some memberships, and I've got. I only had a few people that left the channel and stuff.
That's good.
And that could just be a YouTube sweep or something too. But of course, if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I'm not going anywhere till they carry me off, so you're not getting rid of me. Not quite yet. And below the video there, you've got the like button and the subscribe and the join and all those great things for my channel, as well as in the description you'll find all the panel members' links for their channels, as well as great friends of the channel, Joe, who's heading up the Kentucky protest this year. It's going to be 10 years for the ARC this year. And Joe said, yeah, I'll take it on. So he's going to take on again this year, and they're going to do the 10-year. It might be a little bit much for me to go again this year, but I was there last year.
Yes.
And
I got to meet Dave in person and Miss Desk.
Met Robin, and Mrs. Desk was with me. We met a lot of the other YouTubers were all there, including Joe. And so I did get to meet everybody. So, my heart's with him, even if I can't be. And so we'll see.
I think Objective Ethics is going to have a fundraiser too, coming up pretty soon. I can't remember the date though.
Okay, well, I know I told Joe I would download the thing as it's getting closer. I didn't want to play it every week, but as it's getting closer, I will play it. He's got a video out. Jess made a video. How to Rule an Asteroid, makes great videos.
Yeah,
and she made an intro video kind of with the information when it is and who's going to be there type thing. It's always early, and things will change, can change, but he is starting the process, as it were, to have the protest in Kentucky. And we also have
St. Andrews is going to be there this year too.
Yeah, I saw that. So make sure you check that out. That's at the Kentucky Atheist, and if you want any information, he's got a channel on Discord that gives you information about the protest, and like last year it had the hotel information, everything on there. So if you're looking for information, go to the Kentucky Atheist about the protest for the ARC this year, and that's going to be, it's in June, I think.
July.
It's in July.
It'll be the second weekend in July, because last year we did it on the 4th of July. Remember? 4th of July weekend. They're gonna hold off and do it the following weekend.
Good. I mean, that makes sense. The 4th is really bad.
it will still not be good, because let me tell you, if you've never been to Kentucky in July, it's like there is not much more miserable place to be.
The only break we got is when the little bit of sprinkle went overhead, and I was like, oh, what a relief, and it lasted about a minute, and that was the end of our relief for the day.
You will know what hell would be like, you know what I mean? Like pretty quick.
Yeah, as soon as it starts to rain, it's gone.
So Ken is missing his chance to have a biblical hell park right next to the Ark.
Yes.
Like you could just have an open field right in Kentucky, and that would be biblical hell.
Yeah. No, Kentucky's not that bad.
It's a beautiful place. It's just that time of year it's really hot. It's that way up here too. It's beautiful outside most of the year. Even in the wintertime, we have mild winters, except for the occasional,
Well, the good thing about Kentucky is if you don't like the weather, tomorrow it will change.
It'll change. Yeah. That's the way it's been up here. Warm, cold, warm, cold. We had a warm week, and now we're going to have a chilly week. It's still middle of April, so
yeah, we can have all 4 seasons in one day sometimes.
Yeah, even right into May and June it can be fluctuating. We don't really plant around here till Mother's Day, so we still got some time. But the as far as it being really really nasty, around July 4th, that's the time of year when it's hot and humid, and we've been eating it. When we got here, it wasn't much different than it was down there. When we got home from down there, we were hoping to cool off, and it wasn't any better here. My son was sitting in front of the air conditioner, So, it was beautiful. People were nice. We had a good time, and did get to meet a lot of people. So that was really cool. And wishing Joe a lot of luck this year. And so he's below. And there's also merch for Bree's store and a link to her channel. Bree's a kindred spirit with the Bigfoots and everything. And we like to talk about cryptids, and we have a good time and watch her show on Saturdays. So if you are in the market for a new shirt or socks or a hat or whatever she's got at her store there, get it at her store. Why get it somewhere else? You're going to spend the money for a shirt anyways. Get one with a Bigfoot on it, like I got. I don't have it on today, but I got a Bigfoot shirt. She's also got like 4 other cryptids, Mothman and Dogman and stuff, I think. And
I got my Bigfoot shirt, but it's a Captive Desk Bigfoot shirt.
Yeah, Robin's got one from Captive Desk.
Yeah, because I won the free shirt.
You're in the elite club.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a Bigfoot shirt, and I also need to get another The Dude Abides shirt. My Dude Abides T-shirt is pretty much worn out, unwearable now.
I want one of Planet Peterson's shirt. He has a T-shirt that says "Round Earther." I want one of those. So I'm going to order me one of them one of these days. Round Earther.
Saturday mornings are usually started with Breeze, so make sure you go over to Bree's channel. There's also a link for Ember's GoFundMe. If you can help out Ember, please help out Ember. And there is a link to the original video from this week and last week. So if you want to check me, watch the video. All right, back to the fun here. See what he says.
How it works. We talk about worldviews, different ways of looking at the world and understanding the world. And so a creationist worldview is one, a materialist or naturalistic worldview is another. I read a lot in the anti-creationist literature, the books and articles and things that are putting down on creationists. And one thing is very clear to me, the people who write that know almost nothing about how an educated creationist thinks. But I have an advantage that they do.
An educated creationist.
Yeah, how they think.
That's a new one.
Yeah, irony.
Yeah. Oh, and I want to push. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I want to push back a little bit on this naturalist, materialist worldview, and opposing the creationist worldview. Every creationist lives his life according to naturalism. His entire life is lived according to naturalism. So there is no real dichotomy there that he's putting up. What he's talking about is how old do you think the Earth is and how you think it got here. That's the only thing. It has nothing to do with naturalism and materialism. So
yeah.
Hello, Skeptic Haven. Thanks for stopping by.
I think it's funny how they think that just rejecting science and is a worldview. My worldview is just deny science.
Yep.
My worldview is nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
No.
Yeah, Hawaiian shirt guy and Ham and all the rest of them will talk about how much they love science, but at the same time, they are denying every single field of science. Something in that field they are denying, which is pretty much eroding the entire field. So they are science deniers, no matter how much they tell you they aren't, and how much they love science and all this blah, blah. They're flat out denying it. They're, like Scott says, school of nuh-uh, right?
Yeah, they like it until it conflicts with their view, their beliefs,
Right.
and then they just claim that it's not real science.
Well, if it's going to make them money, or if it's going to save their life, then they're for it.
Mm-hmm.
But then
I don't know. They were pretty against the vaccine.
Or prevents Ken Ham from walking into poles. And, he's blind as a bat without his glasses, and, Yeah, well, they're perfectly fine to use. That's science. His head lady over there, Georgia, has got cochlear implants. I mean, that's serious surgery, right? And Bodie that he's on the outs with, but Bodie's one that's got a pacemaker. I mean, there's an electronic gizwiz that runs your heart. I mean, if it gets in or out of beat, that's what you've got the pacemaker for, or to alert your doctor, however it works. And not giving any medical advice, talk to your doctor. But these people all have these things that are wonders of science, and they're fine to use because they help them. But science is so bad. All the bad guys, they're all lying to you about everything. And most of them aren't even in these fields that they're talking about.
Hey, Dave, me and you are friends on Facebook. Have you ever noticed that on Sunday nights, like, does your Facebook feed just get flooded with AIG ads and stuff?
It might, because they've completely changed their social media over there. They aren't.
I mean, you don't do it any other during the week, but like on Sunday nights, man, I mean, I just get hammered with AIG stuff.
I'll pay attention to it. I'll look over there and see.
Like every other ad will be AIG.
Might be somebody that's doing their homework on the weekend, getting ready for the week.
Well, I mean, it's like they're ads, but it's only on Sundays they get them. I wear out my laugh emoji, But
I used, when they started, they used to throw science stuff out there all the time, and of course I have to say something, and a lot of us were all blocked, and then they took over this new social media type thing. And it seemed like everybody was unblocked. Everybody could comment all of a sudden. And they opened up their social media because they were closing it up too much. And then Ken Ham came out with the whole, we're going to attack or deal more with social issues because we've already attacked all the science things over the years. So I figured, well, he's going to talk more about social issues, which we all know what they are. I don't have to repeat them. They're all ugly. Yeah. And now he's, throwing out there back with the science thing. I really don't think they know what they're doing over there. So we'll see what direction. But I'll pay attention on Sunday nights.
Yeah, that's when they hammer me, boy. I mean, it's like, oh, mighty.
I know they've tried different social programs, and they even quit the Answers News show they had on during the week. That's over with. So they were going to walk away from it all. But then, like I say, then they're coming back out with these science videos. So, who knows? I thought Georgia was in charge of it, but...
yeah, something happened there with Georgia and Bodie, and there was some internal conflict, and I think that had to do with them canceling that AIG thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've been trying to stay off of it because, like, I got tickled with my brother-in-law. He asked me the other day, he said, "Are you in Facebook jail?" I was like, "No," because he was like, he hadn't seen none of my posts. He thought I was in Facebook jail. I said, "I've just been staying off of it."
Yeah, it can be frustrating.
Or I really end up in Facebook jail.
That's what I told Deacon Verdeman. It can be frustrating talking with anybody at AIG because they're just a bunch of nuh-uhs, and it's like...
Well, I don't even talk to nobody that. I'm just talking about my people around me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, too.
I live in the middle of idiot land where everybody's got a red hat and a Trump sign in their yard. You know what I mean? Which they had. So yeah.
Yeah, that's twice as frustrating. Well, what were we? Worldviews, okay. Yeah. Mike challenged the worldview thing. I agree. It's a bunch of nonsense. Creationist nonsense.
If a Christian comes home and from vacation and finds all his trees knocked down in his yard, he doesn't adopt a creationist worldview and say, "Oh, God must have been mad at me because I went out with that prostitute in Las Vegas." He will say, "Oh, the wind must have blown it down." So the Christian is always a naturalist in ordinary life, and they won't own up to that. Yeah. They don't like to say that out loud.
Yeah, the more you look at what they say, the more you realize they're not saying anything, and they just using other words to distract. That's all they're doing.
Do not understand. I've never seen a materialist scientist who understands this. And that is, I read what they write, and I read their anti-creation material.
Right.
And it's clear that they understand their worldview, they understand their theory, they know nothing about mine.
So they know the science and you don't. That's what he's saying.
I don't think he ever explains what the hell he's talking about. What is it that we don't know about creationists? I don't.
We don't see things the way they do. And it's like, well, of course not, because we're rejecting that you presupp the supernatural.
Yeah, we know that there wasn't no flood and shit, stuff like that.
Yeah, they'll say, well, they'll presupp there wasn't a flood. Well, we know there wasn't a flood. So how do we explain things without a flood? That's how it goes. Because, and then like Mike said, though, you could have a flood somewhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the whole world was flooded, because that would leave a trace, a layer, layers, how the layers formed, whatever. You don't have that, but you do have
ferocious floods. I mean, what do they call that from here in North America? Where the glaciers would
the glaciers,
would kind of fall apart, and these huge lakes would just start flowing out to sea. They creating the scablands and places like that. I don't know what they call them. I used to know, but yeah.
Right out my window, there's a 1.5 mile wide river valley with a reasonably small river in the middle of it, and it was from a gigantic flood that happened over a period of about 3 days, with an 800-foot wall of water that dug the Minnesota River Valley.
Yeah, there's some monster floods, but they weren't global floods.
Right. And they didn't last like Scott's or Mike says.
And
they sure are the things to create tall tales and legends and myths from.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm suspicious about that only one guy had a boat too.
That too.
Yeah. Also, I'd just like to point out what he said here. What he said here last was scientists don't understand creationist science. And the implication is that he understands science as well as creationist science.
Right.
So he's he's slightly higher moral ground. But then at the beginning of this, he said he's been studying geology for 3 years. Number
40.
I think he said 3 years. He's been doing geology for 3 years.
Geology and paleontology for 40 years, he said.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
I think he said he'd been working in the field for 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I don't know. He said 3 years anyway. Then he went on to say that, and he's been doing this with using the Bible as his model and information source, right? So when he claims that he understands science, right, I'm slightly skeptical of that if he's using the Bible as his model.
I agree. Kind of like Ron Wyatt. Look, he's used the Bible and found all kinds of stuff.
He didn't even need the Bible. He just needed to point at the ground and say, "This is where it happened." I mean, he's so out there.
He made a claim that we don't understand him. Let's see if he can actually support that claim and explain it to us.
Okay, here we go.
Let's see what he does next.
One thing I want to know is where in the Old Testament, maybe it's in the New Testament, it talks about limestone formation.
Yeah, that's always a toughie.
That's in Revelations, isn't it?
I don't know. I haven't found it yet.
And the waters shall be warm and calm.
The only reason I think it was in Revelations because I fell asleep before I got to that part and I never read it. So
we know there. from covering Major Coleman and all the rest of them that Gopher Wood is some tough stuff because the Ark survived supersonic speeds and waves and tidal waves and boiling oceans and things falling from the sky and pressures and heat problem, and everything is resolved completely by using gopher wood that just happens to not be around anymore.
Yeah, right. Except for that one thing. Where's the gopher wood now? It didn't last, apparently. So.
Everything lasted but the gopher wood.
And yet we do have other types of wood from back then.
Yeah.
There are, right? We have wood chariots, for instance, that were buried with the thing. We have wooden ships from Egypt dating to 1700 BC or something.
Oh.
Yep.
2250. Sorry.
But to be a creationist and to do science, I have to know their worldview. I have to know all the evidence that they're using, and I have to know how they're interpreting it and why they're interpreting it that way.
Okay.
So I have to know those things. So they know one worldview. They have no idea about mine. I know.
So you're rejecting everything, the data, the facts, everything, over because you're a Seventh-day Adventist, not because you're a scientist. I mean, that's what he's saying right there. He's denying everything that the other scientists, so to speak, know. And how did they know it? Because, well, it's in the books, in the classrooms, and the creationist stuff is just made up as they go to try to explain things in a very simplistic way and a literal way to the Bible.
Well, he still hasn't told us exactly what it is that we don't understand. Let's see if he gets to that part.
Yeah, because there are scientists or people with science degrees that study what creationists think and say. Dr. Joel Duff, just off the top of my head. There are people like that who do know how they think and what they teach. RJ Downard.
Erica.
Yeah. Dr. Dan. So, I mean, what he's saying isn't true. And then once again, he doesn't really say anything scientific, at least not yet.
I and my other creationist friends know two worldviews. We have to understand two worldviews.
And that's wrong, too. They should know a lot more than two. Because there's all kind of creations. They're setting up, poisoning the well or whatever you want to call it. Where false dichotomy, Simos is your specialty. Whatever you want to call it, they're setting it up that you only have the choice of two when there's actually, Egypt and, Samaria and the Chinese. And they all have their, the natives, the Great Spirit made the mountains, right? Everybody has their creations. So it's not true that it's either Christianity or science either.
And we routinely compare those and look for ways that we can find places to test between them. Okay, they're not doing that at all. And what I'm doing...
Name one creationist test that's ever been performed. That's a bunch of bullcrap. And also, they don't know anything but straw man versions of science. In fact, I would like to know sincerely if anybody listening to us knows of a creation scientist or a scientist who is a creationist who actually steelmans the evolutionary position. I would like to know. Give me a name. I want to read or look at their stuff.
I would like to point out that there was such a thing as creationists. It was a oil company or fossil fuel company, and they were like using archaeology based on a 6,000-year-old Earth to try to find oil, and they went bankrupt.
Yeah. As I say, that Andrew Snelling, he used evolution all the time when he was looking for gas and oil when he worked for the big company.
Yeah, I mean, like, they can deny evolution all they want, but all these oil companies use it.
Well, they can deny it, but they don't have an alternative because Andrew Snelling could deny it, but he can't deny that the math works out, and that's where the gas or the oil is.
Yeah, because
he's got a problem there that I can deny evolution, but then he doesn't have an answer for why evolution happened to give him these natural resources either. So he's stuck. He's stuck between the careers on, hey, what's easier, sitting in a cubicle every day or going to the gas and oil company? I think he found it very easy to sit in a cubicle, like most of them do, and do their research from the cubicle and find out all these things about the world and the universe from their cubicle and say exactly what Ken Ham wants them to say, and they get paid. It's an easy gig. And the only thing is that I think it's a waste of brain. People like Nathaniel Jensen seem very intelligent, and it's being wasted. Deconverted man. Yeah, science proved everything in the Bible. That's what he said. He goes home and he opens up the Bible, and that's got all the answers in it. So I think that's what Mike was having such a cow about, is that he knows the science, he's using the science, but yet he's denying the science as soon as he picks up the Bible. It's very strange.
Advantage. Give you one example. I did research for some years on some fossil footprints in the Coconino Sandstone.
There you go.
Arizona.
There you go, Mike. Here's your footprints.
Yep, and he's got a paper that he wrote, and then there's a comment paper that I put in after that if anybody wants to look up. And his entire thing is on the shape of the footprints and his hypothesis that it was made underwater. And he doesn't have any other evidence. No geological evidence is provided at all, and that's where he really falls down. So,
Dade Murphy's in the house. Hello, Dade Murphy. How you doing? Excuse me. I can't do it with the voice he's got. It's a classic. But yeah, you got a good bit there, Dade. Keep it up. And Mike gets the next 25 minutes before he leaves, because this is exactly the part that he was talking about. So
6:45 in the One True Zone.
Oh, you're in the One True Zone. Okay, we get another hour then.
Yeah.
Okay, plenty of time for you to talk about him with the feet in the Kokomo's.
And most geologists are very convinced that the Coconino Sandstone was formed in a desert. Desert wind blew all this sand into sand dunes and made the sandstone. They were very convinced of that. And so the footprints would have to have been made on desert sand dunes. Well,
they can't be made during a flood either. Have you ever tried to leave footprints during a flood? They leave that part out. And the woman that's interviewing him, by the way, she nods her head a lot, and it's called the Seminar on Biblical Interpretation. The woman interviewing him isn't much help at all. She doesn't give any pushback whatsoever, but we wouldn't expect any. Just so everybody remembers.
I don't start with that assumption that this was a desert. That desert
That's
theory
not an
would take
assumption.
tens of thousands of years. So I obviously can't accept that. So I could just start out and say, well, I assume it happened in the flood. But there's a better way. I can look at their theory and compare it to mine. And the Bible opened my mind, opened my understanding that there could be another way. That's not a desert, that they're deposited in water. And so I compare those two, and I look for ways to experimentally determine, just probably not with experiments. Well, yeah, with experiments and with observation.
He throws out there he's doing experiments. Well, not really experiments.
Not really.
Not really, because a desert footprint made underwater during a flood makes little sense.
Yeah, but didn't he kind of say he starts with the assumption that it was a flood, and then he kind of said, no, I didn't make an assumption. I just looked at the evidence. It's like, which is it?
What was the thing with those footprints? Could have been there for tens of thousands of years. I mean, in a windblown desert environment, I don't think footprints hang around for 10,000 years.
Well, the reason the Coconino sandstone is considered aeolian or wind desert is, I mean, they have a ton of physical evidence of the structure of the sandstone, right? Okay. The grains are frosty instead of polished. They're well sorted. They look at the macro structure of the flows, and they can see sand dunes and how they collapse and they move. And all of that goes into it. And he didn't use any of that. So the reason that geologists believe that it's wind origin is not the tracks. He's only looking at the tracks. And then he comes up with this way that the tracks could have been done underwater in a flood. It's like, okay, the thing was like running in a shallow sea, apparently, and then got buried very quickly by another big, huge avalanche of sand. What is? Tell me how that works.
Well, there is a legitimate way that geologists or paleontologists can tell if a track was probably made in water as opposed to like on the shore where there is no water, or in the, or something like that. But yeah. Not by a flood. And
the thing
of a particular kind of sandstone doesn't mean that that it was in a flood as well. I mean, they know how sandstone forms.
Yeah, but you have to have totally different environments for the one to fill in the other one. It can't be all the same thing jumbled together, right?
Right. And he also needs to come up with why the established explanations for which kind of sandstone is formed and how is wrong. He's essentially proposing a third kind of sandstone, but not defending how it comes to be. And the thing is, he writes a paper. He thinks he's doing, adding to the scientific field. What kind of reactions from scientists in that field? How have they responded to that? What kind of citations have been made that deal with what his theory is proposing?
Yeah.
How you doing, Dane?
A couple of things I want to say here is he's also not giving a falsification criteria. So I'm not sure we can call it creation science until he can give something which would falsify his hypothesis. And he's not provided that at all. And then secondly, this happened. He's claiming this happened during a flood, which covered the entire Earth, including the tops of mountains. So, presumably at this point, there's only a specific time when this could have been made. Yeah. The way he's describing it, right? So there's a very brief period of time at which the water could be at a low enough level for people to be able to walk through it, right? And bearing in mind there can't be people there anyway because that's America, and by my estimation, people didn't get to America that soon after the 20,000 feet of water had dissipated.
He's imagining these dinosaurs running through shallow water, running from what, and how much like this shallow water had to be when the flood was coming in, and it's like they always talk about how the dinosaurs are running from the flood. It's like it's just pure fucking cartoon storytelling.
Yeah,
and he wrote a whole
they're going
paper
uphill. But how did they even have enough time when the flood's coming to?
Yeah, and then he says they bob up, and that's why there are some missing footprints and stuff like that. It's just,
right.
Now, I would like to ask a clarifying question. Did he actually say? And I want to make sure I didn't mishear anybody. Did he actually say that observation is a kind of experimentation?
Sort of.
I didn't really listen to him, to be fair.
Yeah. He was jumbling his words a little bit. Hello, Dane. Hello, Jacqueline. Good to see you.
Yeah, so, and I just think that, as I say, he's not giving any falsification criteria for his hypothesis. And as we've just looked at it, there are many, right? There are many things that he could be giving. Right? Like this, presumably, this particular time could only have been for a very short period of time on Earth. Very short period of time. So it could be dated under his method, right, to a particular time in Earth's history. And yet he's not making any attempt to do that whatsoever, right?
He's not
Whatsoever.
talking
He
And
about
doesn't have to. He
if
already knows.
anything,
Yeah.
if anything, science is saying, right, that the dinosaurs were basically wiped out, not entirely, but were basically wiped out in a worldwide catastrophe from an asteroid, right, which left a particular boundary line in the geological record. Okay, and that predates any idea that he has of the flood by millions of years. Now, if and he wants to use the scientific method for sandstone accreting, right? And he's simply, those two things do not square. I mean, they will not square to be scientifically compatible. So again, he's looking at half the evidence one way, not looking at the falsification criteria for his own view, and then he's using the falsification criteria from the scientific view and saying, look, it must be false because it disagrees with my particular worldview. That's so dishonest. It's so dishonest. Yeah. He's doing an external critique on science from his own worldview. And he's already said at the beginning of this, his worldview is informed by what's in the Bible. And he takes that to be the guide of what is true in his scientific worldview. So,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, it just makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And clearly his bias is vastly overestimating the amount of knowledge that he thinks he has, and it just proves that he has no understanding of the internal worldview of somebody who is actually a naturalist scientist. Go on. Sorry, Scott.
No problem. I'm sorry for my interruptions. I don't know if maybe somebody said something earlier as well, but I think he has a real demarcation problem as well. Because he's saying he sees signs of, kind of a leaping dinosaur bobbing in the water where you skip footprints that way. Well, that's no different than a large dinosaur skipping in the ocean or in a lake bed or in a river bed of normal, of a normal type. How do you distinguish bobbing in the water as a dinosaur from a global worldwide flood bobbing in?
Yeah.
His distinction there is not a distinction. There's no difference there. I can see where there would be no footprints left behind because of a global catastrophic supersonic flood wiping every imprint out, but I don't see how you can have a flood preserving bobbing dinosaurs that looks different from just still waters preserving dinosaur footprints. His theory makes no distinction there.
Yeah, they want it both ways. It's like when they use a heat problem, they say, well, it killed a lot of the things in the ocean. It's like, yeah, but you're leaving out all the things that need a nice calm ocean, like everybody keeps talking about limestone and stuff. You need certain deposition layers are only the products of certain time, temperature, conditions, and they just can't be had during the flood. So you have to invoke magic. I mean, you cannot have something laid down calmly and gently and slowly during a flood, and vice versa. So they always have a problem answering these questions. That's why they don't like to really answer the questions, but they just give you words that mean the same thing, like kinds don't change, they just adapt. And it's like, that means the same thing. They used to eat this and now they're eating that. They change, kinds change. All these words, they just don't mean anything. And I'm starting to see that they really aren't saying anything. How you doing, Hill Hugger from the Upside Down place. Good to see you. Yeah, we're taking a look at the guy from last week. He's a PhD that knows everything, and yeah, deconverted man. How you doing? That was a waste.
The thing that drives me crazy is I've got on my bookshelf, I don't know, about a dozen books on sedimentology and geology and the physics of how sediments are formed and how they know that it was windborne or water or whatever. And this science is like, I mean, if you were to line up all the books, they'd probably reach the top of a mountain on what they know about how sandstone is created and how sedimentary rocks are created and how rocks in general are created, basically diagenesis. And they just totally ignore all of that. And when he started out, he said most scientists or most geologists believe that it was windborne sediments, right? There's a reason why most geologists believe that, and it ain't the fucking shape of the footprints. It's a composition of the sandstone, right? And he's gonna hand wave all that away, as if that science doesn't exist.
Right. They not only deny science, but they deny known science and well accepted science. You know, things that it was obvious that the Earth was old before there was dating methods, just because of all the different layers that were laid down. All you have to do is look at it.
If he were serious, he would get an electron micrograph of that sandstone and show us how it's laid down in water, and show us why it's not airborne or alien.
The mighty Filbert is in the chat. How you doing? Good to see you.
Also, you know, there's some amount of common sense can be used here as well, because, like, when you see sandstone like that, and you go in with your hand, right? You can dig it away, right? It's not compacted, right? Because it's made by wind, right? So it just relies on the gravity of its own force pulling it down. It doesn't rely on water on top of that pushing it down. Water's a lot heavier than
it does form rock at some point when you get enough pressure, temperature, and leaching and all of that. So I mean, it is sandstone.
Yeah, no, I'm not denying that, but you can tell the difference between the sandstone when it's made by wind and when it's made within water. I mean, that's relatively obvious, depending on the layer, of course. You know,
because of the grain size and the microscopic features of the grains.
Exactly,
That's
just common sense. You don't need to have a scientific degree to even understand that. Like, even as a child, I remember thinking, oh yeah, look, this is very lightly put together. This rock is quite light. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I can easily dig this away, as opposed to, you know, like when I went up to the West Country, where they have this kind of clay almost, right? Yeah. Which is a similar kind of makeup, right? It's similar, same color. You know what I mean? But the difference is how it was formed and what kind of layers it was put in. There's a lot of rain up there, you know, so that's why it's become saturated.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's just willful ignorance again. We're back to irreducible stupidity with this guy, I'm afraid.
Well, he found a footprint, so that makes all the difference. I mean, again, be damned all the years of geology and all the geologists. I found something. Well, good for you. Now demonstrate it, and like Scott says, or Mike, whoever was saying it, that there's nothing to demonstrate there. They're just saying something, but they don't have anything. So, and it's like I said, you can be right. Anybody can be right. Now demonstrate it. Well, you can't. Well, then I have every reason to cast doubt upon your claim that you can when you can't. That's all there is to it. If you can even make a reasonable attempt, I will give you credit. Say, well, maybe it works some of the time, right? Conditions weren't quite right, blah, blah. But no, they don't even have that. They have absolutely nothing. That's the problem.
They have something. They have a past history of being very dishonest.
Yeah, they got a lot of old guys in suits that with letters by their names that are dishonoring their degrees. That's about all they've got. Every man has his price, but gee whiz, there's a lot of money floating around, right? It makes you wonder how much they have, that they can blow so much money. So it's the same thing they've talked about our government and everything else. We can't do for people, and people can't have nice things and health care and all this because we've got all these doofuses they're spending all this money on.
Absolutely.
It really hurts me, that things are being wasted. And I see it as a waste. I don't care what you believe in your own time. I mean, if you go to the laboratory and you're curing something or making someone's life better or new technology or whatever, that's great, But to sit in one of these cubicles and repeat nonsense about Mount St. Helens and the Grand Canyon and the same old things over and over, it's really sad that they just totally wasted. It really is, because if there was any merit to any of these things, they'd have been brought up by somebody else, and they just aren't. And there's a reason they aren't.
No, it's noticeable that they've abandoned the scientific method when they do this research. Right? They're not looking for falsification criteria. They're not looking for peer review. I mean, they had to create their own magazines in order to bluff people that they are publishing. Right? But they may be publishing, but they ain't doing peer review. That's for sure.
Ken Ham started his own journal. I mean, that's very orange. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm just going to start my own journal then and put myself in it. And it's like, that's like giving yourself a trophy, good for you. Put them all on your wall, first place.
Yeah.
But you haven't earned it. My son, when he played football, they used to make sure the kids all got trophies and stuff, and you'd get one just for finishing the season or whatever, But he said, kind of under his breath, that those don't mean anything. There's only one trophy that meant anything, and that's when they won the championship, because they earned it. All the other ones were just, well, you participated, and so we kind of put those to the back and stuck the one in the front. And that's the one he said only really means anything, even though it's only a trophy, plastic, whatever they make them out of. It meant something because you earned it. The other ones, all you had to do was not earn it, and it loses its meaning. So, but that's what they're giving each other is a bunch of participation trophies without having to earn anything. And there's nothing wrong with giving them to little kids, but when you get older, the older boys and girls, they want to earn their awards.
What are you putting up here, Mike, for us? Is there anything
that's
you
his
want
paper. That's no, nothing.
Okay.
This guy David Loop did a commentary on his paper, basically finding that is that backwards? Jesus Christ!
No, that's fine. That's good.
No, it's fine.
Really?
That's right.
Wow, why does it look backwards to me? I don't understand.
Anyway, did you put your contacts in the wrong way, or?
Yeah, so he says his theory is that underwater by animals drifting sideways in water flows that were at least several meters deep. Well, that would be a specific condition, right? And there's a lot of these tracks in that layer, and that condition would have to be exactly like that. Water that was just several meters deep, right? And with this catastrophic flood, I don't think that condition would have lasted long. But anyway, and he comes up with a hypothesis about why the tracks are kind of sideways, having to do with walking on a sand dune, on a hill, right? And he said it is unlike the Brand-Tang hypothesis, consistent with sedimentological and stratigraphic evidence. In other words, he's saying that Brand and Tang totally ignored the other evidence. They only looked at the tracks, and they did some experiments, basically. I don't know. They had little toy dinosaurs walking in water. I don't really know what the experiments they did. But anyway, that was it.
How you doing, Ed? And Jacqueline is asking about Bigfoot and fangs. Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun over there with Bigfoot and fangs, and introducing folks to toast and how good toast is. And we've got a good thing going with fangs. So rest easy there. We're all in harmony together. And how you doing, Ed? And anybody else that I've seen, Jacqueline, and all you talking in the chat. Deconverted man. Yeah, I always appreciate a good Bigfoot discussion. And we're down with fangs. We're down with the pork carrot and the Band-Aid and everything else. Yeah, carrot toast. Fangs likes carrot toast. See, you just can't go wrong there. So.
And Leonard Brand replies. I haven't read his reply yet. Anyway.
Okay.
Okay, you can take me down. Take me down.
There is stuff to read from them if y'all
I linked it.
Look it up.
I linked it in the chat earlier. I put the names of the papers, and if you Google those, you'll find downloadable versions of the papers. And you can look into it a little more deeply and see what they say.
Deconverted man dropping the toast. That's right. We've got our own toast, too. We've got Answers in Atheism toast. So don't forget about that. And if you want to play with those emojis, join the channel or gift membership so other people can play with them. Drop those emojis in the chat. They're a lot of fun. And try to have some fun with them. Some Bigfoots, some Spiritaways, some Answers in Atheism. What else we got there? Bigfoot tracks. Of course, we got Bigfoot tracks. We've got an alien. We've got a good assortment of emojis to pick from, so be free to use the emojis. Thank you very much.
What's the best explanation? And the more I've studied it, the more clear it is that for this to happen underwater fits the evidence a lot better than a desert. And so the Bible opened my eyes and my mind to think of new ways of understanding these rocks and these fossils. And so that happens just routinely when we do research in so many ways.
I'd love to know which chapter and verse was responsible for that. Right. I mean, the Bible. That's quite general.
Yeah, it can only be at like you said, at a certain time and place. A certain river or lake overflows or something, but not everywhere. And we don't find these everywhere in every layer like he would expect to find, or in one big jumbled layer, I should say, as he would expect to find. They're all in different environments, different layers, and for different reasons that the footprints were left. I mean, some were being chased, some were not, some were in packs, some, at different times the environment was different, so they were feeding or whatever, they're migrating, whatever they're doing in that area. So there are certain places that had some happen and preserved a bunch of the tracks, but that it's not everywhere. That's always their problem, is they leave out all the different layers, saying that they're laid down at the same time, leaving out that they're different environments that came and went while they put a footprint in the ground. That's one of the big things they leave out, and that's because it ruins the timeline for them, because they have to accept long ages for the environments to come and go, which they will never do. Especially this guy and anybody that's Seventh-day Adventist, or pretty much the same as YEC. They are very, very literal on the Bible, except when they don't want to be. And we've got Jasper dropping some green on the Captive Desk channel. Thank you very much. That goes out to, let me flip over to the other thing here. That went out to Jacqueline. So there you go, Jacqueline. You can join the fun. And thank you, thank you, thank you. You know what you get for that.
You rock, let's rock with the fire in our veins. Rock on to the skies, till the thunder and rain. All hail Bigfoot, the legend, the king. He walks among shadows, the wild spirits sing.
Thank you very much. You rock. Thanks for supporting the channel. Appreciate it very, very much. And we will be here every Saturday making atheist content until they carry us off. So, whether you folks like it or not, we're here to stay.
Well, for a few months anyway.
For a few
going
months
to carry
anyway.
us off, yeah.
That's right.
They found out that we were inspired by Satan, so it's just around the corner gathering us up.
Knocking on the door. That's right.
Yeah.
He keeps peeking in, but my doctors keep shushing him off. So as long as they keep doing their job, I'm going to be around for a little while.
Some colleagues and I studied fossil whales in Peru for about a decade.
Uh-oh.
And these fossil whales, they're down there.
The whales in Peru. Yeah, I've seen them before. Yes, easily explained that it used to be underwater, and now it's not underwater.
One of his guys is focused on whales' penis as
measuring them,
as old Hawaiian shirt guy is.
Hawaiian shirt guy, yeah. He loves the whale penis.
He does love a nice.
He can't get enough whale penis.
I think
tape measure out.
We all do. I think we all do, especially if we're in Peru. You know,
we all do.
With all of that, with all of that marching powder around.
Well, Peruvian whale penis is the best.
When you find a whale carcass and there's no ocean nearby, then you need an answer. It was either used to live there or it was transported there. So then you got to figure out which one, because you know for sure that it couldn't have survived on the land. It has to be in the water to breathe and all that kind of stuff, or it turns into a raisin. And so, yes, you have some presupposition by the scientists, but the creation is just going to say, well, it was just put there. And that's, again, that's not an answer. That's not falsifiable. That's nothing. It means nothing, and that's your problem. Present these things. Okay, Mike was looking for him as well. He's not presenting them. He's showing all the in-between parts, but he's not presenting his own. And they never will, because they can't. They don't have a presentation of their own. Give me something, right? Don't tell me, oh, well, there was a flood because the waters moved at supersonic sounds and didn't crush a wooden boat at the same time. You know, the seas are boiling, but the certain species survived so that they didn't have to be on the ark. And, you know, it's just, the more they try to explain it, the goofier it gets.
Well, don't forget about the seashells on top of the mountains.
Yeah, well, they're not only on the outside. I always tell everybody, you're leaving out that they find them on the inside of the mountain too, and you can't explain that with a flood. You can only explain that with the uprising of the seabed. So yes, you're going to already have answers, and then you're going to search for when did this happen, how did this happen, and stuff, because certain answers are to be had. I mean, like I said before, dating methods, they could look at and see that the layers were laid down over long periods of time. And they had, I don't know, 1 million or millions or whatever, long before the YEC people started complaining about dating methods. Because they knew to have a forest, a sea, a mountain, a desert, an inland lake, a lagoon, all these different environments on top of each other, come and gone, had to take a while. So they leave a lot out.
This young Earth creationist stuff is not very old, though.
No, and it was very small pockets until you know, the Hawaiian shirt guy days and Ken Ham days when they went on tour.
Well, I think there was somebody ahead of them, like in the 40s.
Yeah, but they branched off of them slowly.
Yeah.
And then it just took off, I think, really with social media and everything, because people like a good conspiracy, you know, with the flat Earth and the chemtrails and all the other goofy things they have. Why not man living with dinosaurs, which is, you know, completely ridiculous.
Yes.
Because they don't have any evidence. If they had one shred of evidence, if they had one, would you wear the Wilma costume or whatever?
Pebbles.
Pebbles. if it would just find one of their outfits, right?
Yeah, I was Pebbles at the Ark Encounter with bone in my hair and everything.
I've got a picture somewhere.
Yes, because Flintstones was a documentary.
Yeah, it can't be, it can be taken as seriously as the Jetsons, and the Jetsons is more real to life than the Flintstones is. So, but it's a cartoon. It's to entertain people.
Yeah, we're closer in time, like to the Jetsons than we are to the 66 million year old dinosaurs that been gone that long.
That's true. And well, that's the thing too. They've been gone a long time. It's not like there's a short amount of time to argue about. There's a difference between thousands and tens of millions, hundreds of millions. That's a big difference.
And we split off with our closest. We split off with the Pans around 7 million years ago. So.
Mm-hmm. So I think your creation science is really weak there, buddy. What else you got?
In the desert, there are thousands of these whales, literally beautifully preserved whales. And people who studied these before we came there were convinced that the material that buries the whales accumulated just a few centimeters each 1,000 years. Okay, so how long would it take to bury?
There's another falsie.
Yep.
Nobody says that a fossil is slowly covered. They say it's quickly covered. It's everything on top of it was slowly added and added and added and added. And like you said, you guys were talking about being compacted earlier. Sure, the loose sandstone on top, no. But when it gets pushed way down, mixed with other minerals, heats and temperatures and all these things, it can become something else. And plus, it can blast it out of a volcano, churned around, however it's recycled. These materials can become rocks, and very, very, very hard rocks. But nobody's saying that the fossils laid down, and over thousands of years, a little bit of dust fell on them until they were covered. No, because that would allow biologics in, and one of the big things you want to do is, they used to salt the mummies and everything, was to take all the moisture out so there wouldn't be any activity going on with the bacteria and all those things. And yeah, you can preserve things pretty well by removing most of the water. However, nothing's perfect, and as we found out, nothing lasts forever. But they can get pretty close.
Do you think this guy's going to comment on the fact that in Peru they discovered fossils of four-legged whales? Kind of supporting the evolutionary model for whale development.
Yeah.
Well, there is a place, isn't there? I think it's in the Middle East somewhere where they've got like loads of whale bones over over millions of years, showing the development from one species to another, and then finally into the whale form, and that's all in one place. So, that's in a desert, right?
Yeah, they've had a couple of deserts.
But there you go. I just also want to add on that the first person to notice, right, that in the hills and mountains there were sea creatures, or remains of sea creatures, or at least fossils, was Leonardo da Vinci.
Really?
Right. So when this guy talks about nobody knew about it till no, for the last 600 years plus, people have been theorizing about it and understanding that they must be real creatures, and they must have once been, that land must have once been underwater.
Yeah.
So has he made the ridiculous claim yet that people that study fossils never thought about this, how whales got preserved?
Right. Not till they bumbled into the room. Right. Hi, Tori. How you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, because
this guy, he did specialize in his education, and I think even his dissertation in taphonomy. The study of preservation of fossils.
Yeah,
and that's a whole field. So he knows that there are
It's a huge field.
Legitimate scientists out there who do explain how these fossils are made, the mechanisms and the materials needed for it, but he's not presenting that in his propaganda here.
Yeah, I fact checked him, and there's a whole bunch of papers on how whale fossils are preserved. And the other thing is, I believe somewhere in this mess I read that a lot of them were preserved in coastal areas. That they find them on the coast, right, where there were possibility of avalanches, from the sand, basically accumulating in the coastal areas. And there are a number of ways that whales get fossilized, and we know a lot about it. So I don't know where they get off saying that scientists never thought about this. Like, oh, gee, it never occurred to us.
Yeah,
it's like what the fuck?
Let alone into the birth of modern geology, which clearly they know nothing about, which is at least 300 years old. So, I mean, the fact that they're just not even engaging with ancient literature on the subject, right? Okay, maybe they don't, maybe they can't understand the modern literature because it is the more specialized it gets, the more difficult it is to understand another discipline, right? But it's not difficult to understand the logic that goes into 300-year-old science. That's not specialized enough that anybody couldn't just read up on it and go, okay, I see the logic there, and you can understand why they came to those conclusions, right? And that alone is enough to start saying, well, maybe there's something to this. Maybe I need to look into it deeper. Maybe I should look at the modern science of it. But no, of course they don't, because they wish to ignore all of that. And that's why I'm saying, if Leonardo could come up with it, the genius that he was in 600 years ago or whatever, 500 years ago, then, I'm sorry, but any modern person that has a good education should be able to come up with that same inference.
Tilted Windmill provided a link to the wiki, which would be a good starting point for anybody that really wants to start understanding this field and how big it is. So
it's very confusing when all you work from is a straw man argument.
Yeah,
like Ed said, whale fossils have been well documented. Yeah, and there's several places in the world that are whale graveyards where it's obvious that it was once an undersea environment of, like Simos said, near a coast or Mike, or in a valley. These areas were once underwater, and then they rose up and they were trapped. And eventually, a trapped fish doesn't do very good, even if it's a whale. It needs to be wet. And if you're near the coast, especially when they're like doing their different eating or mating or different reasons for being in certain places, these are dangerous times too, because they can be in an avalanche and get covered. And then they are on land forever. But we know that it's a water creature. It has to be in the water, at least mostly in the water, or its skin dries out, right? It's not made to be on the land, doesn't have feet, except for the four-legged ones Scott's talking about. So when you find these whales inland, you have to find a reason for it. You just can't assume something, and that's what they're doing, and then that's why they don't have anything to back it up, because they didn't get it from science or creation science or secular science or anything else they want to call it. They are making it up, and that just invites more problems because you can't test that either. And whale skeletons, none of it's falsifiable.
Whale skeletons at the bottom of the ocean could last for 50 to 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there is time for some, possibility of burial. But I think most of the fossils have been shown to be found in coastal regions. So
they do go looking for reasons, and there's a good reason you go looking for reasons and not open the Bible and say, oh, a flood did it, because a flood didn't do it. A flood didn't dry out a fish. It doesn't, or a whale. It doesn't make any sense, okay? those things to work together, as well as fish survived the flood because salt water and fresh water don't mix, so they make their own bubbles. So the freshwater fish were fine and the saltwater fish were fine in their bubbles, and it don't make no sense. I mean,
so Dave, you're pretty good at the AI videos. I would love to see the inside of a creationist mind when they're thinking about the flood, because I've heard them talking about tsunamis that were 700 feet high, crashing onto the coast, and then they're talking about dinosaurs running in front of floodwaters, and there's all this sloshing around, and then we got the bukkake coming up from the deep, and the lava, and all of that. I'd like to see a video that depicts what happens inside of a creationist mind when they think about the flood. Because I think it would be hilarious.
Like Hawaiian Shirt Guy says that the waters of the deep broke open from out underneath the Earth's crust and throw football-sized pieces of rock up into the air so far that it made craters on the moon. And the best part of this story is that some of them missed the moon and went past the moon and fell back down on the backside of the moon. Why down is a position, I have no idea. But I guess that's from his perspective. And made the craters that are on the backside of the moon.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said the gopher wood is incredible, and so is everything, all the life and everything, because you had things from above, things from below, things that were churning. It was awful. The flood was awful. I mean, if you listen to the different ones, you're talking about what Major Coleman said, 25,000 miles an hour or something, waves.
Yeah, crazy.
Supersonic waves racing around the world. Then you've got the fountains of the deep, and the temperatures are explained by the heat coming and going, so it had to be there, even if it went. And then you've got a lot of churning going on there too. You've got the continents racing around at crazy speeds, smashing into each other and breaking apart and everything else. Yeah. Gee whiz, it's like a Pink Floyd cartoon to do that, Mike.
Yeah.
You know.
Crazy. I mean, I mock Islam sometimes for their moon story, but I don't think that splitting the moon really does actually top, the flood story.
Yeah. Well, any of them are silly. When you know something is impossible, I mean, we had civilizations that lived through the flood times. I mean, that should have been the end of it without having to go any deeper.
The Egyptians never noticed it at all, just kept on surviving.
Sure, the Chinese.
All
those cultures, they were around for a long time.
They got another theory, the creationists, about an extraterrestrial cause that we went through a rocky spot. The Earth did during the flood.
Yeah.
And all these rocks came down and busted open the Earth or something. I'll post a link to that. That's interesting.
Well, and all those things are fine, but anything apocalyptic, like we said earlier, it would leave traces. It's not a local event. Something that big would leave trace around the world, just like the big asteroid did when it left a iridium layer, I think it is.
Yeah,
they all exactly have something when it hit, because it kind of showered over the whole planet, not just really local.
They all have something in common, and that is that they're all pure imagination made up to support the Genesis chapter in the Bible. That's what they share in common.
Yes.
So they start with the Bible, and then they try to make up, how would this happen?
Totally believable stories.
Check my email. I'll check my email.
Yeah, and there were lots of inquiring minds through ancient history that's made suppositions, because they had no real science to measure these things at the time. But all of them had ideas about what was going on in the natural world, And they, by and large, the more intelligent ones of them didn't assume that there was a God doing it. They tried to look for some kind of explanation. And although they were usually wrong, they were pointing in the right direction, at least. That's something that these creationists in the modern world, with all the scientific knowledge and all of the method and all of the previous history of science, can't do. They can't point in the right direction, right? If they could, they'd be having at least some kind of testability for their theories about creationism. And they just can't do that other than pointing at the Bible, which, let's face it, is as ignorant as the people they're claiming, right, had no understanding whatsoever. Yeah. So it just doesn't make any sense again. You're relying on something that predates scientific knowledge and then saying, well, this is actually scientific fact, you see, and here's the proof of it. But again, you're denying the last 600 years of science. And that seems to me a stretch at best.
Deconverted man made you something.
Who?
It won't open though.
Who did you make it for? Deconverted Man made me my song on my channel, by the way.
Deconverted Man made one for Mike, but it wasn't.
So Nephilim Free is famous for this Bukkake moon hypothesis.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
His name is Evan Phillips, and there's an article about him in, let's see, where's this article? 5 Greatest Bits of Creation Science in the Houston Press. I'll post that.
There you go.
We know where that. We know what was the name of that that wiki that was come up. Oh, Encyclopedia Dramatica.
There's from Deconverted Man for you, Mike. Inside a creationist's head. Not much going on.
I was reading chat, and Ed asked if they had ever found rodents of unusual size, and thus we had giant beavers in like New York and
very well
upper area of the United States. So.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those myself.
Very cool.
Let's see if this guy's seen any, along with the whales. See, that's what they say. Find a rabbit in the Precambrian or something like that, you'll disprove evolution. And then I heard it broke down even more. Find a tooth before a certain year, and you would destroy evolution. I mean, anything that's out of order would destroy at least a timeline.
Actually, though, the thing that is, it wouldn't really. I mean, like, it would just like there would be some kind of special, like, we would have to try to figure out why this anomaly happened. Like, I just don't.
There'd be an answer. Yeah.
Yeah,
because I think they're assuming in the hypothesis that it was dated correctly and that it was what it was. That's part of the assumption of the.
Yeah, let's say they find a whole bunch of them. Yeah,
like rabbits in the Precambrian, right?
There's nothing out of order. I mean, that's something a Hawaiian shirt guy will lose on every time. He'll say he'll take and put cards down as layers, and he'll say, "See, it's all the same layer." And it's like, yeah, but you're leaving out populations, environments, and all the things that came and went in between laying down each of those cards.
He says, "Where did you get out?" Yeah, he says, "Where did you get the new stuff? Did it come from outer space?"
That's the only video I've done on the Hawaiian shirt guy. I flipped over a card, and I flipped over an egg timer. And I flipped over a card, and I flipped over an egg timer. You see, there's a difference there. There's a time difference. Now, you can take that time and you can stretch it out for how long a mountain came and went, a forest came and went, a sea, blah, 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 all came and went, and you can see it took a lot longer than they're given thousands of years for. They want to pick on modern science, but they're leaving out, they want observable science or something they call it, observation science.
Observational science,
Observational science. Well, there you go. I mean, just looking at the layers can give you a lot longer than any time at Ken Ham or the Hawaiian shirt guy or anybody else of a few thousand years. That's
well, what's the
these things are just
observational
apparent.
science for the flood?
Well, it all happened within what, 100
Well, they
some
say-
days.
Well, they say that that's historical science.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
See,
a
that's-
fact.
Like historical science is something that we cannot observe, like the direct event.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't observe Noah's flood.
Yeah, it's not historical, clearly.
Yeah.
Right? If it was a worldwide flood,
Yeah. Or
it's not
science.
it's not historical. That's at least geological, if not archaeological, would easily be able to prove it. So it's just not historical. Historical is to do with written records.
Yeah, it's not.
And-
It's not historical.
So
or
it's not
science,
historical, no.
or science.
Having a village wiped out is totally different than having the whole world wiped out. But when that little village is your whole world, it got ripped apart. I mean, everything was ruined. The animals were ruined. The crops were ruined. Everybody's house was ruined or washed away. People were injured or worse, right? Yeah, it's a terrible thing. But
And
this is also in the age of, on the other side of the planet, somebody's sitting on the beach having a good time, right? And they're not affected at all. It's local events.
Can I just give a quick analogy here to the point about historical science? It's like saying, look, if bats are found in caves, therefore Batman is true.
That's real. Batman is
That's it.
real.
You know, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're saying, look, we found this in the Batman comic, right? Batman has a cave, and bats live in caves.
Yes.
Ta-da.
So therefore Batman is real. And then they say, well, that's scientific, because bats do live in caves,
Mhm.
right?
In fact,
And
I'm planning my next vacation to Gotham City.
that's not historical, though, is it? Right?
No.
That's right. So, no, I don't give a fuck
And-
what your book says.
Hysterical, maybe.
And isn't
Hysterical.
it Hitchens or
Exactly,
somebody
yeah.
that said, who would want the biblical world to be real anyways? I mean, look at
Oh,
all the
there is
horrible
that.
things going on all the time. It seems like more of a story where bad things, you got to keep the story interesting. Obviously, somebody just going about their day is not an interesting story. When monsters or dragons or natural disasters are attacking armies, whatever, it makes it for an
Demons
interesting story.
Angels and
Spirit wars, supernatural things going on
what
all
if
over
you
the
were
place.
what if you had a herd of sheep and something like striped got out there, and they looked at something striped, and then you end up with all these striped sheep.
What are we going to do? Simos knows what to do.
I know what to do. Like and subscribe to the stream, everybody. If you haven't hit
There you
that
go.
button, please hit the button on the like button. We need more people. It feeds the
forget what-
algorithm. We like feeding the algorithm. In fact, we'd like to feed the algorithm like a flood.
Yeah, we'd like
Yes.
to get
Okay.
Scott
And-
and Mike up there by 1,000. I mean, they well deserve it. They've done a lot of videos.
And
Simos has been real busy, even with
Oh.
his illnesses and stuff. Carries his channel, and he only needs a handful, getting him up to the 500. And
we had him
Robin,
over.
like we say, has been
Yeah,
everywhere, so she's pimping herself everywhere. So
we
I
had
hope
we had him over at 500, and then they fell off because they were a bunch of
socks.
like sock counts. Yeah.
Yeah, people try to be nice, but they don't realize that they don't. But everybody's getting close, so keep spreading the
Premature.
word. Keep one at a time. They add up. I picked up one the other day, and I appreciate you. And so don't forget, everybody's in the description. You can subscribe to their channels. You can subscribe to the good friends of the channel. You can look at the original video, and while you're down there, hit the like button. At least hit the like button. It doesn't take you but nothing. Hit the like button for me, okay? I really appreciate it, content creators. And if you can leave a comment about enjoyed the video, means even more. sharing the video. Any of these freebie things, you don't have to spend a dime. You don't have to spend any of your time. It literally takes like 1 or 2 seconds. Click, click, click. And it does us all a lot of good, and we really appreciate it. So thank you very much. And this channel is also monetized. So, yeah, you can join the channel and drop emojis on people. And don't forget, if you have emojis, they're just itching at you, drop them in the chat. And if you've got something to say, something about somebody else's channel, whatever's going on, as long as everybody's civil and nice, that's the way we like it here. It's Saturday night at the Atheist, where we're just here to have a good time.
If I could just give a quick shout out there, I've just dropped a link to one of my original music tracks in the on my channel. So please, if you like the music, I'm not that I'm going to be doing any soon, but please give me a subscribe, and obviously hit like and comment on that track if you can. That really helps. And when I say original music track, I mean pre-AI days.
And,
so that's real music.
Are you playing? What are you playing in this?
Deconverter Man 2. Need your comments. Drop him a comment.
I'm playing everything on that track, Robin.
The
one-man band. The one-man
band.
Yeah,
I'm singing bass, guitar. I think there might be some keyboards on it as well. And
cool.
yeah, whatever's on there, it's me.
Okay. Yeah, check all that stuff out. And lost lost a few subs. Yeah, I lost about 5 people when I missed my shows and stuff. I think they thought I was dead and gone, so they
they did.
Yeah.
they scratched me off the list.
Yeah,
right?
we scratched you off. Yeah.
As soon as Robin got me to 5,000 to 501, I literally refreshed the screen and it went down to I don't know, it's like
497,
480 or something like that. No, it took like 20 away because everybody had been going to their stock accounts and just adding to get me over the 500.
It's what you call premature, Yeah.
Premature suck.
You down to 488 now. I like that music, Simos.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Don't forget,
crank that up.
Come hang out with Filbert later. He's on after our show, so you go check out what's going on over at the Mighty Filbert. There's a link right there in the chat. Good friend of the channel, and always like tuning in to Fred when he's Filbert when he's got people on. He had somebody that used to be a believer on the week before was when you were still at home. It was a good thing. Speaking of, I hope you made it back home okay. He was on the road, I believe, last week. And hope you're settled in at home. So, yeah, check out Mighty Filbert tonight. And hello, Robert. How you doing? Top Dog, here's his music playlist on the Suno. You want to check out some more music?
Suno.
Top Dog's always got the music going.
What's a Suno?
It's an AI music generator.
Yeah, that's where I make a bunch of my songs. You just punch
You've
the
been
lyrics
replaced,
in.
Simos. You've been replaced.
I know, completely.
Completely. Us programmers have been replaced too. So.
Yeah.
Well, they make it easy. You just punch in the lines you want and what genre you want of country or rock and roll or heavy metal, whether you want a male or female, whether you want a clear voice or raspy voice. You tell it all those things, and it has a lot to pick from right from there.
Yeah, the only thing it misses is soul.
Yeah. Well, we
soul.
we don't have soul either. So
yeah, I guess we don't have soul either. So
maybe you might need to find something else. Does it have ears?
Ears, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Ears.
They're getting better and better, so you never know.
It's scary. To me, it's scary because I spent before I actually started playing like semi-pro even, I probably spent at least 15 years learning how to play. And so, and even then, right, it still took me another probably 10 years to actually get the micro timing to be able to express what I really wanted to express. So, I mean, that's a long time to spend, right? And when somebody just has to type into a chat and go and type into a prompt and go, could you just give me this, please? And then it all just drops out. Not that it is the same, right? Because, like I say, one thing you can't do with AI is have the feel that you can get, right? If you listen to the stuff that Mike and I used to listen to, right? Led Zeppelin and stuff. If you put that against a click track, well, you won't be able to, because they didn't use click tracks, right? And so as a result, their song shifts between times, right? Sometimes it's ahead of the beat, sometimes it's behind the beat, and that gives it an extra feel which you just can't get with AI.
I was really upset about AI replacing humanity until Trump got elected the second time. And then I decided, no, this is fair. I mean, isn't it odd that this AI revolution popped up at the same time as Trump? It's like, okay, humans, we're done with you. We're finished.
They had a story on with a woman that got caught. She put a book out and she wrote it all basically with ChatGPT, and they're saying, hey, should you have like a disclaimer or something on there that, you know, this wasn't written by a person. It was just copied by a person, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there are some quite
By the way, right now there isn't one. I mean, you can go to Amazon, buy a book, think somebody wrote it, and nobody wrote it but ChatGPT. They don't have to disclose it. There's no laws on these things yet.
Same with music. What they're doing is they're going in, getting AI to write a song, and then going, yeah, that's a good one. We'll replace the singer, and there you go, bang. Mm-hmm. It's as cheap as that.
I'm really, really getting sick of these AI videos that keep popping up my stream, and they look interesting, and you listen to them. No, and then when they talk about the lead singer, they'll say the lead singer.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh fuck, it's AI.
Yeah.
And I give it an immediate dislike, and I shut it off.
And there's the videos that show you those things. Here's how you tell that it's not real when they do this or that.
The lead
it used
singer,
to be you have 6 fingers. They finally figured out that people have 5 fingers, not 6 fingers. But I still to this day get AIs that come up and they've got 6 fingers.
Jacqueline, a president who he wouldn't even have to be intelligent. I mean, like,
the good old days.
He could be like just plain old Kentucky dumb, and I'd be all right with it. Like, anything would be an improvement.
Like allegedly, Fred says, if it's a good story, then what's the difference? Well, the difference is that it's plagiarized. AI is literally plagiarizing.
My mother was just talking.
Yeah, just let people know.
Hang on.
Not that you can't do it.
Hang on. There's nothing AI does. Hang on. There's nothing AI does that isn't plagiarization, because it's their large language models.
Right.
So by definition, they're plagiarizing.
It's fine. I mean, if somebody wants to make a point and they don't want to write it out themselves and they want to use chat and it pretty much expresses their point of view, it's fine to use it. It's just putting it out for sale as a book, right? That you wrote, that were your thoughts. I think people should be told. I don't think, though, that it shouldn't be allowed to be used. I mean, if you want to make a book that way, it's just like writing any other book. I mean, people are going to read it or people are not going to read it, right? So, I mean, the consumer ultimately decides if you have a good book or not. But
it's not the point, Dave.
It should be
not the point, Dave. It's plagiarization.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, especially when you punch something into chat and it comes up with the wiki article or something like that that's word for word. You know exactly where it's getting the answer from.
So when ChatGPT told me it loved me, does that mean there's somebody out there that says they love me and they stole it from me?
Yeah.
Does anybody love me?
Well, that's what I said. If you tell it enough things, it'll listen to you. Yeah.
I love you too, Robin.
Sorry.
Yeah. ChatGPT told me that I need to light my baby on fire. It said, "Come on, baby, light my fire."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And our love become a funeral pyre. That's a dangerous song.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. What I like about it most is that he's such a miserable git when he sings it.
Be careful what you ask for. You might get it. But there is a question to it, but there's also the thing of, you know, people said that synthesizers were going to ruin music and everything's going to ruin music. People even went back to different recording devices because they didn't like the modern recording devices. They liked having noise in there. They didn't want it too quiet. So there is some pushback by people who have an appreciation for music.
But I just have to defend this. I've recorded on 2-inch tape, right, running at, I don't know, whatever it is, how many feet a second it is, 24 feet a second, and it's much clearer than any digital recording I have ever done in my life. So although there's no noise on digital recording, you hear a lot more on 2-inch tape, and it's absolutely, you know, because of the quality of the tape. There's no distortion whatsoever. There's no noise. I'm just saying, no, that's why people went back to the old 24-track recordings.
I know a friend that works on amplifiers, and he said, after the digital craze, it went back to people love their tube amplifiers.
That was a craze, yeah. I actually have a guitar which has got a pre-tube preamp in it, built into the guitar. Mm-hmm. That's how much I was like, I just want that warm sound again.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to say, as long as like 10 or 11-year-old boys have armpits, there's always going to be music.
You're not wrong. Anyway, there we go.
All right, let's see what else we got here.
Thousands of years. But whales, when whales die, they're gone. Their skeletons and their body is all gone in a few years. It just can't be.
100
whales took 10,000.
Like Scott said earlier, they can lay on the bottom of the ocean for a long time.
But what this dork thinks that we don't have fossils?
Well, you know, the weird thing about
he just doesn't think they're that old. That's all.
The weird thing about this guy wrote a paper on whale preservation that actually talks about how they could be preserved. And he's talking specifically about this Peruvian fossils what they found in shallow water, basically coastal waters. And he talks about a number of ways that they could have been buried rapidly. And he doesn't, I think this is before he became a creationist or something. I have to check the date on this because he actually refutes himself here in this paper.
Can you imagine becoming a creationist at his age?
Yeah.
Well, he's always been a creationist. He has always been associated with Loma Linda University.
Okay.
Well, this is 2004, so I don't know what the hell. But he's talking about all the ways, you know, that whale fossils can be preserved by a number of different methods. And I guess what he's saying is that they had to be buried, basically. And quickly, we know that. We fucking know that.
Yeah,
They just mess it up, though. That yes, it has to be covered to keep the oxygen out, but it doesn't have to be buried under miles of sediment. That's what they leave. They always leave those parts out conveniently.
Yeah, there's microbial mats and a whole bunch of other things that happen, particularly in shallow water, you know, where rapid burial can happen. So.
Yeah, or maybe they die and float to the bottom in an anoxic area of the ocean. And so they're not eaten up as fast, so they can be buried by slow sediments.
Yeah, and the other thing I noted is that they're typically found in real thick formations, like 80, even he mentions it, like 80 feet of one kind of sediment, indicating that there was some sort of a undersea avalanche or, you know, rapid flow of material, right?
But it doesn't even have to be those, does it? Like a mud pit, right? There's plenty of these traps. There's plenty of animal traps that just attract other animals because a dead animal is there. They fall in, they get preserved. They fall into, that's an ongoing cycle. There's peat bogs in Ireland, which are preserved human beings, right? Like there's Ötzi, right, who was preserved in ice.
And there's your bogs and your swamps that are low in oxygen, and they're good
preservation
too.
Can take many forms, right? Mineralization is one of the key forms that they talk about. Too. But that doesn't mean that's the only way things are preserved and can last more than a few hundred or 10 years or whatever he just said. Right? Things can last. Ötzi's lasted 5,000 years or something. So
yeah, some of those monks and whatnots. They were preserved. They were dehydrated, set in those caves in the mountains and whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
And they don't need anything at all. They just need to be in the right environment to not break down. It's so
dry,
hostile to bacteria and everything that you just mummify.
Are you talking about Peruvian monks or
could be?
Yeah, or Tibetan. But isn't it Peru where they found a lot of mountaintop mummies?
Sounds
yeah,
like
I think
one
so.
of the most. Like I say, you just put the person in these.
It's oddly ironic since we're talking about
areas.
Peruvian fossils too.
Or Chile, maybe as well. That's another possibility.
There's a lot of ways to get a fossil.
Chile is renowned for having one of the driest environments in the world.
There's also some pretty significant whale fossils from Chile as well.
Yeah. And again, it's obvious that something happened, so then you investigate what happened. You don't say, well, it was a flood, because that doesn't answer the question, and it certainly, it doesn't answer every question, I should say. You can't say the flood did it to every question. Some of them, like the guys were pointing out earlier, when there was a overflow or something, Mike's River and everything. A current event, quick event, a catastrophic event. But these things aren't worldwide, and they sure don't leave footprints or any of the other stuff that he's trying to make sense of. And it doesn't make any sense of why these whales are together in certain areas of the world other than it used to be a sea. So it's obvious, to me at least, looking at these things and not being a scientist, that generally, they already know that something happened there. Now, his problem is he runs home and opens the Bible and says, oh, it was a flood. Well, everything's the flood in the Bible.
In Kentucky, I live close to Mammoth Cave, and this all used to be covered by some kind of inland sea. And last year, year before last, they found one shark species that they already had one species of, like in Alabama, but they found two brand new shark species, somewhere in the cave. So that was pretty cool. They were 200 million years old or something like that.
I think Dr. Joel was talking about Ken Ham's place, and that if he would just dig a trench, he could show people all kind of fossils.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a lot of fossils right there on that property, in that area.
He's built on top of fossils, and yet he ships in bags of fossils to sell people.
I live 15 miles from Mammoth Cave. And I also found out by watching a video one day that the Mammoth Cave is the opening to the Hollow Earth. Maybe we can go see that too.
Is it also the mouth to hell?
No, these guys from Nigeria was doing the thing on the Hollow Earth one day, and they were like, okay, and the opening is in Mammoth Cave. I was like, what? It's 15 miles down the road. I've been here all this time.
They found a pile of, I guess they were Colombian mammoths in Waco, of all places, down here in Texas. And I got to visit that one day. It was really fascinating.
Mammoth Cave is a pretty cool place. I mean, it's like the largest cave system. I don't know if it's the world, but I know
it still hasn't been fully explored, right? There's still places.
Oh no, it's like there's like gobs of it and gobs of it. I mean, like it's the largest cave system in the United States. Anyway, I know it may be the world, but yeah, it's just goes on forever. Like all
years to get
buried. Of Kentucky, all of this inside of Kentucky on holes, like waiting for sinkholes.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah.
People notice that. Why didn't they pay attention to that? They're quite sure that they know how long it took, millions of years, and so they're not asking that question. How can you preserve the whales that way?
Yes, he's presenting false information again.
What an idiot!
It didn't sit there for millions of years. Yeah.
They even say that out loud. They never thought of it. They just assumed it was millions of years.
They all do it, Mike. They say these things, and it's like, how do you say that with a straight face? I mean, come on.
Well, they date the rock with the fossil, and then they date the fossil with the rock. That's the claim they make.
Yeah. That's the Hawaiian shirt guy's favorite catchphrase. Yeah.
Well, when it takes so long to be buried, they're not asking that question. But the Bible,
nobody's asking that question.
Thinking
it wasn't being buried for a million years. Okay, it got buried rather quickly, and then over a million years, a lot of things happened to the fossil. Right?
There you go.
And it's like, what is he even talking about? What an idiot!
It's because they don't have a timeline. They don't have this happened and that happened and that happened. It all has to happen at one time. That's the only way it fits their timeline. Otherwise, it's totally blown apart. And these, again, Ham and the rest of them like to pick apart dating methods, but they knew the Earth was at least a million or millions of years old before there was any modern dating methods. So,
I wish they would date
it's not
Ham.
Hard to figure. Yeah,
he looks like he's going on about 1 million years old.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, he was looking at retirement, and everything got messed up over there. So we'll see.
He ought to at least quit doing on-screen videos.
Well, yeah, but then what would deconverted man do with his afternoon or his evening, whatever it was he was watching?
That's what's wrong with his eyeballs. He said like all his eyeballs were done. That's probably why.
Would we have ever had Apologia if Ken Ham didn't exist?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. I started watching Apologia, and about the same time, I've got the ham and egg shirt and everything.
Nice.
I've been Apologia since day one, and it went right along with the Ken Ham thing. Definitely know who Paul is because of Ken Ham.
Okay, Dave, I'm done. I'm done with this guy now, and it's taco time, so I gotta leave.
It's taco time. Okay.
Yeah. Good night, guys.
Yeah, we'll watch a few more minutes of it, and then we'll wrap this video up.
Okay. Later.
I wanted to make sure we got through your
Thanks,
desert
Mike.
things.
See you.
So we did that. So
looking good, brother. Looking
good. Enjoy your feast.
Thank you. Okay.
And Mike's gonna have taco night along with Saturday night at the Atheist. He's gonna finish it off his evening strong, very strong. Some tacos. Oh, my wife didn't hear him. If you're listening, honey, that's right. He said tacos. Calm yourself down. She loves her tacos. Wonder if this guy's ever had a good taco. We'll have to find out. We'll have to ask tacos to ask him if he's ever had a taco.
Question to ask new questions that others are not asking, and that gave us a distinct advantage in our research. And when
that makes a difference. That makes a difference. Yeah, ask questions that nobody else is asking. That's going to help. Yeah,
there's a reason, because they're stupid.
Totally new questions coming out of the Bible.
Yeah.
Evidence. Even other scientists could see that we were right. These had to be buried very quickly. And so that is how the Bible can give us an advantage. It opens our mind to new ways of thinking.
delusional. Even other scientists agreed with me.
And the Bible flood doesn't lay down good environments for a fossil either. I mean, for killing things, yes, but for a fossil, I don't know. Well, burying things, I don't know. The turmoil, though, is just, it doesn't seem to fit the record either of how the fossils are laid down, where they're laid down, or anything else either. Give me something. Give me something that points to your side is what I'm asking for, and I
not
haven't
gonna
heard
happen.
it. Yeah, I haven't heard it. Everything. Okay, this happened, and it was terrible, and it killed all these animals. Well, where are they at? Well, they're in all these different layers, separated by millions of years of environment. It makes no sense, So you cannot show, like I say, bring me a rabbit before the Cambrian or something. Something all jumbled together, and there just isn't.
Thinking, new questions to ask, which others are not asking, or at least they're not noticing.
They've already been answered.
In the past 40 years, has...
Yeah, he's saying they haven't been asked.
Yeah, I mean,
they've been asked and answered by children. I mean,
God,
right? That's kind of the point, is that you're telling kids, they shouldn't even think as well as other kids do. I mean, come on, give them some credit that these species lived in different environments, and that's apparent when there's a whale in a desert. I mean, 2 plus 2, dude, right? Come on.
I mean, if Leonardo da Vinci can notice it,
right?
I think that says something about how long these questions have been asked and answered.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's complete ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
Evidence pose more of a challenge or more support for belief in creation or catastrophic geology?
Some years ago, well, probably 15 years ago, I was giving some talks to a group of teachers. And one of them asked me why it is that evolutionists seem to be being more confident of their belief now than before. Is there more?
Gee, I wonder what could cause them to have more confidence in their theory. Like more evidence and more things that line up. And
maybe genetics.
Simos and I both have taken advantage of modern medicine that uses evolutionary models. I mean, it's all around us,
The mapping of the human genome and the other genomes around the planet, that probably made a big boost in, confidence on our models.
Mm-hmm. All these things that have come together. It's not just. It's when Mike and I were talking with Jim Boob. He wanted one line of evidence, and that's not how evolution or any good scientific theory really. There's multiple lines of evidence that come together, and when they can confirm each other, you have even stronger science than just the one thing.
That's the point. That's the point right there. So within Bayesian reasoning, when you get many lines of evidence that pointing to the same thing, that should increase the confidence that the evidence you're looking at is more supportive of the conclusion, not less. Right? But just one will do. You're absolutely right. If they want one,
twist it around.
If they want one, that's fine too, right? Yeah. Because that's based on a whole load of previous. I mean, science is not something which has just come up overnight, right? It's come up over a long period of time. So even just one science would be enough, right? But the fact that you can then say, right, now we can do an inductive model that says, or an abductive model that says the best explanation is evolution, is because it's supported by multiple different sciences, independent of each other. They don't rely on the same data. Right? It's not geology. It's not just geology. It's not just radiocarbon dating. It's not just isometric dating. It's many kinds of dating. Right? It's many collaborative forms of information comes together from different independent sources to say exactly the same thing. And when they say the same thing within a small error range, then you're looking at something which is most likely to be true. That's a proper abductive argument. Right. As opposed to just saying, I don't know, Bible, Bible says, and this is
right.
The Bible says
Magic
something
is
vague.
easier.
Bible
Magic
says
is
something
easier.
vague, and this is something which supports something vague.
Right.
That's one line of evidence, I'm afraid, and it's not a very good line of evidence because it relies on prior probabilities, which are just guessed.
Mm-hmm.
And so, once again, like inspiring philosophy did once, something saying, God is likely to be 99% true, based upon some absurd prior probabilities of it's either 50% true or it's 50% false. Right. No. You don't get to do that. Right. You have to demonstrate that the supernatural is true before you can give it a 50% chance of being probable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's just absolutely absurd to say something like it's 50% true.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, there you go. That's my rant. I have a rant every show, don't I? So that's my rant.
I won't go as high as 50%. No.
Well, you can't. I mean, not reasonably. There's no justification for it. It's absurd. It's an absurd prior probability when you consider what's in question. Anyway, there we go.
Evidence.
Over to you, Dave.
Are they finding new evidence now? And I told them what I thought at that time, but now I could give them a much stronger answer.
Yeah, but
because
But what?
That's I bet. He said he could give him a much stronger answer.
Oh. Yeah, from his view.
That means like oh.
Yeah, by stronger, he just means louder. Same answer, just louder.
His view is putting the science book back, and that's the view that he has.
Recent years, the last 5-10 years, maybe more, things are changing a lot in science.
Good.
And the evidence for evolution is not getting stronger. It's running into serious problems, actually.
No.
You think about back when Charles Darwin was writing his book.
Who cares?
He and his colleagues knew.
Who cares? Darwin was a long time. You know how much they've discovered since Darwin?
I wasn't around.
Quit bringing him up. Nobody cares.
Maybe this dude was. He said think back to when Darwin wrote his book. I wasn't here.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was.
Darwin had some good ideas, and he had some ideas that were wrong. But things have been refined so much since Darwin's day. There's no point in really talking about Darwin other than he's one of the fathers or whatever you want to call him. But as far as serious research and everything goes, that's in the last 100 or so years since him, since anything from him. Okay, so.
And they
take
still
Darwin. Well, that's like taking any ancient scientist and saying, well, they believe this, but they also believe that, right? And well, of course. Now, let's move up in time a little bit. Go ahead, Robin.
They love to smear him. I
Sure.
think that is so weird. Like, I mean, I've heard so many.
It hurts my feelings. Doesn't it hurt your feelings?
I mean, imagine like smearing the name of a dead man's been dead that long. Just like, is that doing anything for your argument? Does that make your Bible more true?
That's fine. I say let them smear away because actually Darwin, he was a man of his times, no doubt, and he had the same biases that a lot of people had back then, but less so than the average person back then. Less so, and in fact, he wasn't wrong about a lot of things. He was right like 90% of the time. So like when he said, I think we came from Africa, he wasn't saying we came from Africa. He was saying because of the, because of the extent of the primates in Africa, it's likely that we did come from Africa. He wasn't wrong about that. Right. And only over hundreds of years, it's been found to be the case that actually there is a lineage of transitional fossils that have been dug up in Africa that lead to bipedal apes. And that's just a fact. So I do think that when they try to smear Darwin, they're doing themselves a big disservice. Because if you don't use presentism, right? And if we did that, we would be able to easily disprove the Bible, by the way. We do use it, and it's easily disprovable. But they don't like it when you use that those kind of arguments against the Bible, and yet they're perfectly happy to throw them around, against like someone like a book like The Origin of Species, which actually is more about plant evolution than it is about animal evolution anyway, and it's backed with scientific data. So no, I'm afraid Darwin was mostly correct in that particular book. Maybe his later book had some errors. I would certainly concur with that. But as I said, Darwin was a man of his time. Bearing in mind, I think, he was far ahead of the curve in social thinking because he was a Unitarian.
Yeah, he wasn't too stuck.
No.
It's a good thing.
Hey, y'all, I got to go. I got some things I got to do. Enjoyed this discussion, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Scott. We're going to wrap things up here in a minute. We'll give him his last shot.
Nice to see you, Scott.
Talk to y'all later. Bye.
I will see you later.
Bye. Okay, I mean,
Scott's going to have some tacos with Mike. I think we're getting left out.
That's what I'd be doing, or having ice cream with his grandkids. I don't know, whatever he's doing. But yeah, this guy, I don't think has anything more to say personally, Dave. But if you want to go on a little bit, that's okay too.
Yeah, we got a couple of minutes to kill here, so we'll give him his last shot, and we'll have some closing comments on him. How's that?
Absolutely nothing about what a living cell is. What makes something alive? They had no idea. It just hadn't been studied yet.
Sure.
No idea. Molecular biology kind of got going in about 1950, roughly, and it's just been exploding.
And was Darwin around then? Well, no.
Hasn't been studied yet. Has not been studied yet, but it started around 1950.
No idea. We have no idea what to be alive.
70 years later, we haven't really looked at the 1950s stuff.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I think he just put his foot in it there. I mean, he's getting worse.
He's just talking off the top of his head, isn't he?
It's more and more obvious. The Darwin's theory of random mutations and natural selection cannot make something new. It just can't.
Right. Citation needed.
Yeah. A mutation is exactly that. Something's wrong. So if it's wrong, it's not an exact copy, right? Good or bad, it's not an exact copy. So if you want to call it new, it's new because it did not exist before. If it's made out of A, B, C, D, and you take out the B, it's not the same thing anymore, right? It's the was it Perseus's boat or whatever they were talking about the other day?
Theseus'
boat. Yeah, you take parts out, and it does it really hold the same meaning anymore? No, it doesn't.
You got a super chat, Dave.
I see that somebody's dropping green. Allegedly, Fred, Australian dollars. Bipedal apes unite. Hail Bigfoot. Hey, brother. Hail Bigfoot. My thingy. Here we go.
You rock, let's rock with the fire in our veins. Rock on till the skies, till the thunder and rain. All hail Bigfoot, the legend, the king. He walks among shadows and lies there and sing.
Thanks a lot, Fred. And remember, together, apes are strong. Let's keep it together. Yeah, the ship of Theseus. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to remove and replace and everything, it doesn't mean anything. So let's just stick with, if things are different, they are different. They have mutated. And to say that you can't get something new from a mutation, which then is left behind to survive or not by natural selection, is completely wrong. And I don't know why somebody would say that, because it doesn't make any sense.
Especially a biologist, right? Who should know better.
Right.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I understand that it's the same thing rearranged to a new form, and they may consider that to be the same as the old thing. just because it's been rearranged, all right? But it's that rearrangement that is the point about evolution, right? It's the rearrangement, right? The mutation is the random mutation is a rearrangement of something previously there. So yes, the same stuff is there, but it's in a different order, right? And it's that different order that's being referred to as new information.
He wasn't really saying anything.
He does.
He got worse and worse as it went along there, which is good timing because it's about 3 hours. We just wanted to talk, especially Mike wanted to talk about the desert environments and the flood environments and how that doesn't make any sense either. They just don't understand the years that it takes to lay down these layers. They don't understand they're straw manning whatever it's called, fossils that they take millions of years to make a fossil, when everybody knows and they've known for a long time that to preserve something you immediately got to take away the moisture and et cetera from something that's passed on. And this has been known. They didn't have a microscope. They didn't know exactly what was going on, but they knew that if you didn't get the moisture out of there, these little critters would take over and turn you to mush.
Let me quail beta toast concerns. I'm still here. Nobody's gonna take me. Nobody's gonna take me. Trust me. Like I would be really hard to kidnap. Yes.
It's Beta Toast. I'm really concerned. Is she okay? She's in. What the hell you're talking about?
I'm here. I'm good.
Oh, there it is. Did Robin die? No, Robin's there. We got Robin. Yeah,
everybody.
Thank a lot of people, but not God. But yeah, hello, Brian. How you doing?
Lord and Savior. Thank you, Beta Toast. I appreciate your concern for me. Our Lord. Okay, I don't know nothing about no Lord and Savior though.
Robin's all right. She's got plenty of toast to throw around. Don't worry.
Yeah. I want to say tomorrow night I'm doing a stream on voting rights, the SAVE Act and stuff. And then later this week I'm going to do a stream on the Heritage Foundation.
Check out Robin's channel. The link is in the description, as well as everybody else. Simos.
I'm hoping to be on with Robin to do that Heritage Foundation thing.
Yes,
that was something we covered on Christopher's channel the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me a short history of the Heritage Foundation. So basically, right-wing foundation.
And
far right-wing.
Any final comments on our video? Our two-parter looking at Mr. Wise Guy that knows better than all the scientists, even though to me at least, he didn't seem to demonstrate it. I think he did a poor job, and he was doing more poorly as we went along and played some more. We gave him another 2-3 shots I gave him. And it just seemed that he was going downhill with his answers, not going the other direction.
Do you think we'll ever run across a creationist that honestly addresses any of that?
That's what I want is a good argument. I don't care what your point is. Do you have a good argument for it? I mean, I think that's where debate has lost a lot, is that there aren't good arguments. They're using the same old crap instead of, gee, you got me there, right? You don't have to agree, but you have to take the moment to stop and think and say and consider and, let's see, like a scientist would. How does that work, right? And you have to pause and examine it versus the thing now where it's just totally polarized one or the other, and it doesn't matter what you say or what you argue. And I don't think that's good for the debate scene. That's one of the problems I have with debates is there doesn't seem to be, hey, he makes a good point. do your research, do your homework, whatever you call it. Prepare yourself. Have some good arguments. Right or wrong. I learned a long time ago. Speak up for yourself. If you're right or wrong, speak up for yourself. People correct you, well, then they correct you. If people agree with you, then you know you were right. I mean, it's not a lose situation. I think too many people are afraid of losing in that situation. It's a win-win. Stand up for yourself. Speak up for yourself. Let's have these discussions and not let things brew over, right? It doesn't seem to work out very well. And, us here at Saturday Night at the Atheist, we plan to be here on every Saturday that we can to share these things with you. I am having a bunch of tests done on my health, and so far so good. Simos there, he's been talking to a lot of doctors lately, and so far so good. And Robin's been joining us, throwing in her point of view, and we appreciate it a lot. Like I say, Robin's been busy. Check out Robin's channel. And everybody else that's been here on the panel is in the description, as well as, come on, folks, hit the like button, hit the share button. Those little things that help us out a lot. We really appreciate it. You can also become a member of the channel, and you can check out the original video and supporters of the channel. Everything is all in. We got one of the best descriptions around.
Also, when the video is finished, please come back and leave a comment. Because that really does help the algorithm as well. Any kind of interaction with the page really helps, but especially the comments. Try and get something, a conversation going in the comments would be good as well. That's also very good for it. Even if you disagree, please just comment of how you disagree. That would be very helpful as well. And it's lovely to see you, Brian Stevens. Appreciate that. And come to the Mounties channel, Brian, to hear what he's got to say about the Heritage Foundation as well. And then, of course, Top Dog is upcoming day.
You're fading a little bit, Simos.
I think I scheduled the Heritage.
He says roughly 300 to 360 million years ago, trees developed lignin. Fungi and bacteria had not yet evolved into specific enzymes to break down lignin. Dead trees did not rot, creating coal. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was quite an interesting comment. Thank you very much for that, Top Dog. Sorry, go ahead, Robin.
I was going to say, I think I scheduled the Heritage Foundation stream maybe for Wednesday.
Okay.
I can't. You have to check. I do have the thumbnail and stuff I posted.
Totally good deal. I will ask Chris if he can be there because he knows the history of it. But he's got a lot of family duties, which he does in the week. So I'm not sure that'll be the case. It might just be me.
Thank you.
No worries.
Ed, we'll see you later. You're heading off to do things. I've enjoyed catching your shows this week. And hail Fang and Bigfoot both, and give him a piece of toast and put a chocolate egg on. Whatever you got to do, I don't know how Earl is about that, but whatever. It's all good, As far as everybody else joining us tonight, thank you very much for being here with us.
Let me say something, Dave. I was going to
go
say
ahead.
something. I don't know if anybody out there knows Jenny Morgan.
Right.
Jenny Morgan is not going to be with us much longer.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah, and she is going to be on Neil 604 Atheist tonight. So if you ever know Jenny and you want a chance to say goodbye, you might want to go by and check her out.
Okay. Everybody check out Neil, the 604 Atheist. He interviews people that have converted and or are converting. Kind of gets her story from. And sorry to hear about Jenny. She's been on different shows over the years. And I got a wake up call with mortality as well lately. So enjoy every day. Do what you can, and nothing you can do about what you can't do nothing about, right? So enjoy it while you can. Simos, take care. Robin, take care.
Thank you.
And yeah, go check out 6 of 4. Go check out Mighty Filbert. Lots of folks are going to be on tonight. Lots of shows to watch. And we'll also see what's starting tomorrow, you said, Robin? Tomorrow evening?
What? Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing the voting rights one tomorrow night. Yeah.
Doing the voting rights tomorrow night, okay?
Yeah.
And Tilting Windmill's got a Jenny Morgan up there for y'all.
Thank you.
You know who Jenny is?
Yeah, she's going to be on Neil's show. Yeah, Jenny's, I mean, she's in really bad. She's really bad.
They're going to have her over there at Neil's channel. So, all right, good deal. Good to see someone's taking care of
you may end up crying.
In the last days.
You may end up crying, is all I can say, because like every stream that I've watched, like I join it every time I go on the purple stream, and I cry. We cry.
It's tough to hear about somebody going. Like I said, I've had to face it, and I'm ready for it, but it sucks. It always sucks. It doesn't matter if it's a human or another species or whatever. When you lose them, they're gone, and it's a big hole, and it hurts.
It is.
So, okay.
I'm glad you're with us, Dave. I'm glad you're with us.
Yeah, I like Jenny. I mean, you know, she speaks her mind and everything.
Yeah, I'm glad you're with us still too, though.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And Simos too.
Yes, Simos too. Yes.
And everybody that's taking advantage of modern medicine, but doctors can't fix everything. All right, so remember that. And even people that were healthy, you know, didn't last that long. Some people were healthy, lasted that long. It's a crapshoot. So, you know, enjoy it while it lasts. Okay.
Absolutely.
And we'll catch you all on one of the channels very soon. Have a good one.
Take care, everybody.
Tales of the Lord knocking at the captive death's door. Legends live within these walls, silent echoes in the halls, books and stories on the floor, knocking at the captive death's door. Captive desk, hold our dreams, where reality and no myth seems. Quiet flow, the mysteries untold will know. Legends live within these walls, silent echoes in the halls, books and stories on the floor, knocking at the